to Sport Champs.
What is up, you guys? And welcome back to Sport Champs, Street Champs exclusive sports podcast. To my right is my man Dave. To my left is my man Winston. And we got Deryk sitting right in front of me right there in the cut.
Dare I say we have some fine hairlines in the building tonight.
We do. My man's lined up like Victor. I mean, we don't have to say anything about Winston. I mean, Winston's got waves, dude.
Calvin Klein waves.
Yeah, seriously,
shit.
dude. You're like
Thank
Aeropostale, like the man.
Thanks.
Mannequins are like modeled after you.
Oh, God.
Especially in that Miami Beach, Florida shirt.
Right.
That Miami Beach tie-dye Florida shirt.
Yeah, which I got just recently after the Nuggets beat them.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Good style. Mr. Deryk chilling in the Colorado Rockies jers.
You
Even though
know,
it's not a jers.
gotta represent. Fucking go Nuggets. Go Nuggets.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Wrong team. Fuck.
Hey, we're getting it started really nice. Mr. Dave,
Was good.
I mean, how was your week?
None major.
We should start with him because we know how our week was. We know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave's like, yeah.
None major.
Dave's like, fuck off.
Nah, life's good.
Life's good. Nothing crazy. No. Well, shit. You made that lackluster. Winston, how was your week?
It was good. Tuesday, I think it was Monday night, was the finals game.
Ow.
Game 5, I went up to
Yeah, it
Denver.
was Monday night.
Went up to the DNVR bar with my friend Josh. Shout out Josh. It's electric,
I hate that,
bro.
Winston. I wish we were there,
Dude,
bro.
we had to be at the bar at like 2 o'clock just to get a table.
Oh my god,
It was crazy. We were sitting there for a minute.
And then you just went out and partied with the people.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, it was dope. Anywhere other than the stadium, that's the second best place to be.
Mm.
It was electric, bro. It was so fucking loud. It was dope.
I
It
wish
was
I
a
was
great
there.
time.
I wish I was there for that night.
There was such hardcore fans, bro. Like
Fuck yeah.
chants throughout the whole entire game, like nonstop chanting, even when we were losing. People were
Hell yeah,
still
that's
hyped.
fire.
No,
Yeah,
it
that's
was-
Colorado showed out
dude.
for the finals this year.
Yeah, they did. We
whole
went
state.
in. We went in. So yeah, that was my week. Me and Ricky went to the parade, and Deryk went as well. Chauncey went. Tiana went. D-Main and PT and
Joe Lowe.
Nigel and Joe Lowe all
Shout
went.
out in the cut.
We didn't get to hook up with them, but they were there. That's how many people there were.
Dude, we couldn't find
crazy.
anybody, bro. Like
Fuck
it
no.
was.
We lost Deryk and
We
Chauncey.
lost
for a
Deryk
little
and
bit.
Chauncey for a little. Bro, there was like, they were right, bro. There was guaranteed 1 million people there.
Yeah,
It was
Between like
intense, dude.
700,000 and 1 million.
Yeah,
That's so
what they
intense.
said. Yeah.
Between 17, oh my god,
Yeah.
700,000 and 1 million people. That's
Yeah.
intense.
That's what your first ship should look like.
It should, dude.
So fucking crazy,
Dude, it was so fun to
It was
just
so
be.
cool.
Oh my god, just being there was
Yeah.
insane.
It was. That was me, and I was talking to Deryk about it before the pod. I was like, "That's the biggest accumulation of people I've ever been
Same.
with
Same.
In one moment.
in one
one
moment."
moment.
Yeah, and like
It was so crazy to look at the
Basically,
sea.
literally more than all of Colorado Springs was in like one 4-block radius.
Yeah.
pretty much
Just
yeah.
chilling. The entire populace of Colorado Springs.
I wonder
Yeah.
how much security guards they had to have there, how much police force. That was like the whole police force
so much.
of Denver.
I saw mad fight videos on Twitter, but that's just when you get a bunch
We
of
didn't
people
see
together.
shit.
When
Like,
you get a
we
bunch
didn't
of
see
people
any
together.
violence at all.
I mean,
There
I
was
almost
no
fought that
violence.
one guy that just threw that glass on the ground. I didn't almost fight him. But
You
I was
didn't
pretty
almost
pissed.
fight him, but everybody was
pissed.
everybody was pissed at him.
Yeah,
Though.
I didn't almost fight him, but I was pissed.
Everybody wanted to beat his ass.
Yeah,
But oh my god, we were right next to him too. We were
Oh,
right,
yeah.
dude. We had such good spots for that parade. That
Yeah.
little corner right there that we were in,
yep,
under that bridge. Oh,
we're in a great
and
spot.
we'll talk about it a little bit more. But good week from Mr. Winston. Good week for me. Pretty much the same, other than I didn't go up on Monday night. I wish I did. Would have had to call off even more though. But took off work for the Thursday. Asked. I was real with it too. I was like, "Yo, would y'all be mad if I went for the parade? Like, this is like a once in a lifetime shit. Like, let me know if I can do it."
And he was like, "Gay parade, gay
Yeah,
pride parade."
Yeah, I mean that's a whole nother story. That's the best story ever, bro. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I told Big Nick I was going to the parade, and he's like, "The Pride Parade?" I was like, "No, dude, the Nuggets just won."
Yeah.
I have
That's
a wife, dude.
hilarious.
I have a wife.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a whole nother hilarious story. But yeah, told him, went up with the boy. We got up early. We got up early for that, and I even got up a little late. Like I got up like at 6.
I think we left at
6:30.
Yeah, like
A little bit left,
6:45 is
6:45,
probably when we
yeah.
actually left Pueblo.
Maybe even a little later than that.
Yeah, maybe
6:55, 7.
Yeah, but we got there in a decent amount of time. Traffic was crazy. Almost
Traffic-
got tackled by a fucking security guard.
Why?
Should we talk about it?
Yeah, that's going.
Yeah, let's talk about it. It's on our weeks. All right.
So I had to pee really bad, so we went to King Soopers and
In Denver, downtown, bro.
So many cars.
And
Parking was
before that, we
fucked.
were looking for parking already. And he was holding it because we were looking for parking.
Yeah.
Couldn't find shit, bro, at all. So, and we were kind of scrambling too. Like, we didn't know if, because my uncle said to go try and find a place in the suburbs to park, which we ended up doing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, or we can double back at parking garages. So we double back to one parking garage to see if it was full. And it ended up being a King Soopers parking garage that we couldn't even really park in. This man held his pee so much that he had to piss so bad that he was like, I just got to get out, and I have to piss, like, no matter what.
Yeah, so
like,
I was pissing.
ASAP.
And
So we pull up, park in the King Super parking lot, and continue.
And so
Tell us your view.
the security guard was like behind me and was like, "Hey, you can't piss here. That's a ticket." And I'm like, I was already midstream at that point. I'm like, "Bro, I'm pissing here. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I'm doing it. Like, I'm not gonna smell like piss the rest of the day." So I just kept going. And then he started getting on his radio and he's like calling someone. I don't know who he was calling, but he was calling someone. And then I finished.
And then pause. At this point, I'm just chilling on my phone trying to call my uncle to find somewhere to park. Then I have, Deryk, I wish
Ricky's
you were at the
driving.
mic. Yeah, I was driving.
Oh, here he comes.
Yeah. We have to have Deryk give his little, because what he's seen. So they're out. Both of them get out to go piss. Even Deryk was going to go piss. And then I have Deryk run and get in the car. Now, what did you see, Deryk?
I was actually gonna piss right next to you. I was like,
It
oh,
was.
like it was. We'll make it I'll make it a joke. Like, oh, I'll whip my dick out next to your dick. It was gay fun, a little gay fun.
Oh, my God,
And,
dude. We are not getting any algorithm on this episode. I'm
and
telling
that-
you right now.
That guy, probably what, good 250 pounds guy, 250-pound security guard. He's like, "Hey, sir, we have a restroom inside." And at that point, my dick shrivels up back into my body, and I cannot pee just because I have
Wait, so he's seen
pee
you
shyness.
too?
Yeah, but I didn't make eye contact with Winston, so he didn't know we were together. Yeah, so fucking at that point, I scurry back to the car frantically, like my hands were going crazy,
Waving your hands,
like
jazz
I was in
hands.
trouble, and I was like, "Start the car right now! Winston's going to jail already. Winston's a registered sex offender." and then we just fucking.
So I back up. I throw it in reverse. And
Like Terry.
I'm telling you, I was on the phone with my uncle. So I
Yeah.
had to immediately mute that. I go, Uncle, hold on one sec, okay? Muted the conversation. And then I back up and I start to exit the parking garage. And as I'm doing that, there's a security guard on his radio walking right in front of my car. Like not toward our car, but away from it. To walk toward you, I guess. I don't even know where you went. I don't know how close you are or what. So I start pulling out of the parking garage, and then next thing, boom. So you stop pissing.
And then I just run immediately to the car and get in the car. I was already done. It was perfect timing. I wasn't worried about this dude. He's not going to tackle me. He was like probably 60. He wasn't 250 pounds. He was probably like 140. I'm like, bro, I'm not worried about this dude tackling me. I'll just push him off and run away. Like, he's not going to tase me. Like, I'm all right. So I wasn't too stressed about it. Even if y'all would have dipped, I would have just ran away. There's no way he was going to catch me. So.
And honestly, I like what in my mind when I pulled, because we pulled out toward the street and I was already at the street.
Yeah.
I look back and I see you running, so I'm like, okay, we're waiting for him. Yeah, dude.
was
And
dope.
that's what when I looked back, and if I didn't see you, I was gonna go.
Yeah.
You know,
I would have
'Cause-
understood.
Yeah, and my plan was like, if Winston's not behind us and I'm gonna go, I'm gonna have I told Deryk, I was like, call him and tell him to meet us across the street.
Yeah,
Like tell him to meet it. Like we like made it an exit mission. This motherfucker jumped in the whip and I was just like, "Arr!" And we skirted out of that
Yeah.
motherfucker and just dipped and just kept going.
Yeah.
And Winston got to pee.
Yep.
You
It was
know,
so worth it. so worth it. Even
My
with-
man's couldn't wait to go inside, bro. He had to pee right now.
most places you have to pay for something to pee in their complex, and so it was-
Especially in the middle of Denver.
exactly.
My man's
So,
pissing.
yeah.
So I love the story of public urination. It was
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dave would never. Dave would piss his pants. Would you, Dave? Would you take part?
If I really had to pee, I would just do what Winston did.
Would you have ran?
Yeah. Do you think I'm gonna stay put for a rent-a-cop?
Yeah.
That's what he was. I was like, I'm not scared of this guy.
It's easy. What are you doing?
This guy's bored today, and that it took us maybe.
He
like
was
an
dead
hour.
serious because I heard Winston open the door and I heard "Hey!"
Yeah,
He was all yelling at Winston.
it probably took us an hour to park.
It took us so long.
It
bro.
took us like an hour because of the traffic, and then
It took us like an extra hour.
we
to park.
decided to do paid parking, and they're like, no, we're gonna go to the suburbs, and then we decided paid parking, and then we decided suburbs.
and then we
so-
finally found a spot
Yeah,
right next to Helena's Nails.
yep. And the timing was great. Parade was great.
It was nice.
Yeah,
It was so cool. We got to see, and I wanted to get there early, but I didn't know how many people was going to be. I didn't know the whole state was showing up. So,
Right.
I
A
wanted to
fifth
get
of
there
the
early
state.
to see Grizz and Big Gigantic, two bigger EDM artists that were kicking off the parade. And it was a free show in Civic Center Park. We would have had to get there at 5
yeah.
to even be near. I couldn't.
People
That's
camped out. I guarantee it.
camped, bro.
For sure.
So crazy.
We got there probably like
So
at what,
crazy.
10?
We got there
10:30?
right when the parade started. Right
Yeah.
when the parade started at 10 o'clock. Yeah, we were like at the Civic Center Park at like 10:03 or some shit. 10:04.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally found a good way to get into the actual park. That took us a minute.
It did, yeah, we had to walk. We had to
Bunch
walk
of-
like a good.
Probably 2 miles, 3 miles.
We didn't have to walk 2 miles.
Probably
no way.
over the whole
It's like a
thing,
mile and a
'cause We
half.
had to double back.
Mile and a half.
Yeah.
There,
Yeah, yeah.
or maybe a
Um,
mile. I don't
But
know.
We saw
were
a bunch
close.
of homeless people on the street. Like, just there's
there's
crowds of people, and then they're just like homeless people sleeping
on the ground.
on the ground. It's wild. It was crazy, bro. Not even in like a tent or anything. Just
Did you see the
on
first
ground.
one we saw? The guy that was like sleeping under the. So there was like
Yeah.
2 levels like that, filled with people, hundreds of people on these 2 levels, and literally right on the bottom of the other level, there's a dude just sleeping, covered in like. I seen so much. I don't even know, dude. He was like sleeping in trash,
Yeah.
but with a blanket over his whole body, and then there was like little Frito bean dip empty thing right next to
Yeah,
him,
it
and a
was
bunch
weird.
of food. It was crazy, bro. Looked like he had been there for like a week and a half,
Yeah. That was wild.
and I feel like those homeless people woke up to the parade. Like they didn't know the parade was going on,
Oh,
bro.
for sure.
They were just like sleeping, and then they're like, "Oh my god!" There's
Yeah.
just like 700,000 people around them, like a million people around them. They were in Civic Center Park, and that was like the most populated part. Like it was intense.
That was crazy.
Literally in tents.
Intense,
Right.
yes, dude. They
They
were
were-
in
they-
the tents.
they
No,
were-
they didn't even have tents, bro. They were just sleeping on the floor
Yeah.
under the stars
Concrete,
and
yeah.
God.
Bold.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
Um,
It was intense.
So when the actual players came around, first of all, tons of people that no one had any idea who they were on fire department trucks for whatever reason, fire trucks. So many random people, not even players associated. Not sure really why, but it is what it is.
I think it was the firefighters and their families. That's what I was assuming.
Maybe, yeah.
That's what I assumed.
Maybe, yeah. This one guy got hit in the head with a beer bottle.
Oh.
One of the
Oh,
players.
that was hilarious. Derek didn't even get to see
He
it.
did it. 'Cause this
Dude.
one guy threw a beer bottle and it hit this guy in the head. He tried to catch it. This guy was so embarrassed.
No,
He
but
didn't
hold
even
on.
pick up the beer bottle. He just walked away. Like that's how you know
And
you're
you know it was
embarrassed,
funny
bro.
because we were watching him the whole time, and then you can hear, "Hey, throw me a beer,"
yeah,
and then you just hear it 4 more times, "Throw me a beer," and he was like starting to follow them a little bit, so he followed a little bit down, and then dude chucked it. Perfect
yeah.
pass.
It was a good throw.
Good throw. Dude went to catch it right through his hands. Bink.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh,
And everyone was all, oh, like everybody seen it. Everybody watched him.
Yeah.
It was probably the most embarrassed. And it was the friend group that was standing right next to us. So he just like sadly walked to his
Yeah.
friend group. And then his friend was like, go get the beer. And then he walked back sadly and picked it up and then walked back.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
And then started making fun of himself, of course, as I would. I
You
would do
have
the
to.
same. Yeah, bro. I'd be like, do you see how stupid I was?
yeah. No,
Start
that
crying.
shit was hilarious,
Dude, that was so funny, bro.
Yeah.
And we lost Deryk and Chauncey because all of us just started full on fucking sprinting.
Yeah, We were scared we were gonna miss the parade. We didn't know
And we
how it
thought the
worked.
players were going to be all on one bus, so we didn't
Yeah.
want to miss that bus. So we were at Civic Center Park to watch the end of Grizz's set, or try to. There were so many people.
Yeah.
And we didn't know how to get to the other side, so it was like a long ass walk. We started walking the other way. But other story. But we start sprinting away, and we lost them two for a good while.
Yeah, probably 30, 40 minutes.
Probably 30. It seemed like, I don't think 40.
Yeah.
But they figured it out and ended up meeting up with us quick.
Yeah, I
after
called
that.
them.
Like,
I
you
called
called
Deryk.
them? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And you were like, we're by the dustpan thing.
Yeah.
We were by the art district.
Yeah, no, that shit was sick. And then Tiana lost her jersey.
Wait,
Yes. So
I had video of it. So if you watched my reel on Instagram, go check out the reel on Instagram of the actual parade. It's when Jamal Murray, Jokic, Brown, all of them were on the thing, and there's an MVP chant, and the whole thing's going down, the last piece. And Tiana wanted to get her jersey signed by Jamal Murray because we were so close to the floats, like we were right there. So she was able to throw it up. Well, she threw it up, missed literally by like a foot from hitting Jamal Murray, so he could have caught it. And then the homie next to him, I don't even know who it was. Do you even know who it was?
It was just his
Oh,
homie, probably.
His homie took the Jamal Murray jersey, and he signed it.
Yeah.
He signed the Jamal Murray jersey.
Yeah.
Not sure why.
Fuck it.
Not your jersey, but okay.
He probably practiced.
He was on the practice squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, hey. And then he just like lazily threw it back, and it flared up. And all this is happening while the float's still moving. So Tiana threw it up, and then like started following it, and then dude threw it up, and then big crowd, everybody
Everyone's
reached for the
grabbing for
jersey,
it.
and she's so small. I mean, she's so short, bro.
Yeah.
Gone to
Yeah.
the abyss, just gone. And then since I have two phones in my hand, so I have her phone filming it, and I'm filming my own thing, the reel. I had my phone in my left hand filming it, and I had her phone filming it like that, and I was just kind of following the thing. You could see it in there. She throws it, he throws it back, and you just see everybody. Boom.
Yeah.
Some skinny, tall, white kid, blonde dude, jumped up, grabbed that shit, snatched, gone.
Yeah.
Never seen it again.
Yeah.
Now he has an extra small woman's jersey of Jamal Murray
Yeah.
with some random dude's signature on
Yeah,
it.
for real. Yeah.
If I was Tiana and I got it back, I would have wiped that dude's signature off. I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah, he probably just forged Jamal's signature if I had to bet.
You think so?
Probably. I think he was his
Damn, that's a
friend.
homie move then. That's kind of hard.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting mad jerseys thrown at him. Like,
Yeah.
Jamal was already signing something when Tiana threw hers up.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah, so he's been signing shit. So
I didn't even.
he probably just forged it, but she doesn't have it anymore, so it doesn't matter.
damn. So
Yeah, and then you had to give her your jersey.
Yeah, because she was like
She was,
exposed.
yeah, in a sports bra and like a fucking little, like the little. I don't know what those are called. Like it's like a
I don't know.
girl thing.
Yeah, women's fashion. Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah.
Probably a leotard or something.
Yeah, yeah. We don't know what the fuck it was.
yeah.
It was just like a long sleeve sweater, basically.
Yeah.
But,
so
like,
yeah,
yeah.
she just wore my jersey for the rest, and I had a shirt underneath, so it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, she still looked fly without her jersey.
Yeah, so that was sad.
She lost it to the event.
Yeah,
She lost it.
Aaron Gordon almost got domed with a beer. Some fan threw a beer like to have Aaron Gordon drink it, and it barely missed his head. And
Everyone was like, "Oh!"
it was thrown with the velocity.
Yeah, motherfucker threw it hard.
We were all chanting, and then just after we saw him almost get hit with the beer, everyone just like, "Oh!" Everyone just went silent.
Yeah,
bro.
everybody stopped chanting.
Yeah, we were just scared. We're like, "Oh shit!"
I bet you Jimmy Butler threw that beer.
Right?
He's like, man, fuck.
Mike Malone
He
was
was throwing bricks.
trash.
Hold on. First of all,
Yeah.
I wanted to address his speech. I'm not a Nuggets fan, but I was rooting for the Nuggets in this playoff run once the Warriors got eliminated. And like watching his speech, I don't know, like he's a different type of coach than Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr is not a very emotional guy. Steve Kerr is very level-headed and he approaches things as logically as possible. Mike Malone has a lot of emotion. And when Mike Malone gave that emotional speech, it gave me like goosebumps a little bit.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't anything crazy. He didn't say anything unbelievable, but he was up there doing like fireball shooters and
He
shit.
was.
Like
Five,
He was
dude, trashed, bro.
First-
I'd be so faded though too.
but
Like I would.
who in his shoes wouldn't be? You just took this team to their first championship ever, and then you also won it. You know what I'm saying?
And now you're the point of the spear.
He's immortal in Denver
front of
now.
a million people in your fucking team's. Oh, that's
Malone
so crazy.
Malone,
You're the tip of the spear. Like, that's crazy.
Malone is immortal in Denver from now on.
Immortal.
Yeah.
From like that championship that he just did, that alone, he didn't have to give no speech.
Is
to
he
be
from
immortal.
Denver?
No.
Doubt it.
No, he's not.
Okay.
I think he's
None of these
from
coaches are from the
California, I think.
It is what it is.
That's still fire, bro. He's still. How long has he been a coach for Denver?
I think 6 or 7 years.
That's fire, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good long time,
And-
especially in the NBA. Who,
Yeah.
I
No,
mean, we know them. They get rid of coaches like it's nothing.
I think he's the second longest term tenured coach.
Wow.
So, other than Eric Spoelstra.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then I think Steve Kerr's right
And
behind
he did
him.
it. Now I got a ring.
Yep.
Shit. And he said, let's do it again next year.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, dude, we could do it again next
Oh,
year,
for
bro.
sure we could.
So-
We're the favorite.
We're the best team in the West
Yeah.
for sure.
So, one thing I was gonna ask is like this is a moment that I can kind of compare to how y'all felt. So the moment or the moments, because it wasn't like a game clinching shot that won the game 5. The Nuggets won pretty like decisively there at the end. It was pretty much like a 7-ish point lead for the last little minute. When you guys knew you seized the moment and you knew you were about to be champions for the first time ever, like how did that feel?
Fucking great, dude. I've been a Nuggets fan since I was 8 years old.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking when Melo got drafted, that's when I really got into basketball. Like, it was just, I don't know, all the heartache. And I'm so happy for the guys, like MPJ with his back surgery, Jamal with his fucking torn ACL, Jokic carrying the squad, putting the squad on the back, winning 2 MVPs, because that's how much he wants to win, bro. Like, he loves winning, and he's going to do whatever it takes. And he won 2 MVPs because that's how much he wants to win. It would have been easy for a player to just be like, let's just tank. Fuck it. Let's just get some good draft picks. We're not winning a championship
The
this year.
Joel Embiid.
He was like,
the
I want to
process.
win, bro.
Exactly, yeah. Let's just,
He's like, I
let's
wanna
just
win.
fuck it. Like, we're good. He loves his fucking teammates. Like, he is such a fucking blessing. Like, Jokic is fucking such a great player. Aaron Gordon coming from Orlando, being the number 1 guy, to now being like the 4th option on the offense and taking that role and accepting that. And today's NBA with all the egos and shit,
Yep.
it's so rare. And so I'm so proud of this team and how far they've come and like the sacrifices they've all made. Like Bruce Brown barely getting offered a contract in the offseason, and now he's going to be, probably getting paid the big bucks. Like, they're just great basketball players, and I hate the ISO game, like James Harden, dribble it out for like 17 seconds. Oh, I don't have a good shot. Pass it with like 2 seconds left, so my teammate has to put up a terrible shot because I put him in that situation. Jokic is the complete opposite. It's just beautiful basketball, and it's as a basketball fan, it's just great. It's the Nuggets are my team. They're my favorite franchise in Colorado. Like, I'd way rather have the Nuggets win a championship than the Broncos win a championship.
So I was gonna ask
So-
that, like,
You're
besides
basketball through and through, too.
besides
For
the
sure,
significance
for sure,
of the
for sure.
moment, did this, like, I would assume that this felt like this as a Colorado sports fan, this probably has to be one of the best feeling, like, whatever you would call it, you've experienced. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've seen the Broncos win multiple, and
Yeah.
those were special in their own way, especially like the Peyton Manning one. That was really cool to see. But
Yeah.
like, the Broncos have always had that expectation. It was like the Broncos have pretty much had the whole Pat Bowlen era was championship or bust,
Yeah.
pretty much. So you guys got used to it, which is not anything to say there's anything wrong with that. But like watching a team win its very first championship, like when I watched Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs win in 2019, Super Bowl 54, like I almost had a panic attack because I was so overstimulated with how happy that moment made me.
Yeah.
And so I can only empathize and assume that like that moment was similar. And then the energy of being with all those people at that bar had to have been just chaos.
Yes. No, it was insane. The Nuggets are a similar franchise to what the Chiefs were. You know what I mean? I know you guys won a championship like way, way back in the day.
Yep.
But the Chiefs struggled for many, many years.
50-year drought from the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And then it would have been so long since you guys had won a playoff game up until you got Alex Smith.
We won a playoff game when I was 2 days old with Joe Montana, and then we didn't win another one until Alex Smith, like you just said.
Yeah. So the Nuggets are kind of similar. We've had decent success, but it was just great to see them win because we had some really bad times. Emmanuel Mudiay days were really bad.
Yeah. So I wanted to like rewind. So I said this last week or prior. When I moved to Colorado, it was like the very, very last year and a half of the Kenneth Faried Nuggets.
Yeah.
And that team was like, they were pretty fast break savvy, but like outside of that, like that was all they had.
Yeah, and they were fun to watch. Like Ty Lawson and Kenneth Faried were like really fun to watch. Kenneth Faried was
Absolutely.
really cool. Ty Lawson was a small guy and he still played, but
That was not built to sustain a playoff run in any capacity.
It wasn't. And I mean, even like we drafted Jokic in the second round. Like that's so lucky to happen.
But
like
look at Jokic and then look at like Giannis, for example. Their draft versions of themselves versus what they are now capable of today is just a testament to what how young these guys are getting into this league. You know what I'm saying? And you can't. There's no amount of eye test that's going to be able to assess what Jokic or like a Giannis, the two best players in the world, in my opinion, are capable of when you see these just like overgrown 7-footers who are just don't turn the ball over much. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
the culture changed. Like you talked about the Emmanuel Mudiay years. That was again, there was no playoff hopes back then, in my opinion, for Nuggets and
for sure.
I can't even remember who was their second best player outside of him. I remember when y'all still had Timofey Mozgov.
Yeah, and he was decent for us.
He went to Cleveland.
Yeah, we've had a lot of decent players, but just not other than Melo, we haven't had like an all-star, like great talent of recent memory.
Like
obviously.
a breakout star.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and Jokic is that dude. And it's just been great and fantastic. A lot of people, I want to address people saying that Jokic doesn't care about the championship because he didn't care about the Finals MVP.
Bro,
because
he's
he
just
lost
chill. He's a chill guy.
He doesn't care about those personal awards. Like he was so happy to win the Finals with his friends
The
and with his
Wolfpack
teammates.
mentality, bro.
Exactly. And after they won the NBA Finals, Jokic literally dapped up the entire Miami Heat team
Before he celebrated.
Like that is fucking
That's
great
class.
sportsmanship.
That's class.
Exactly. And you can say that means he doesn't care about winning, bro. He wants to win, not for himself, but for his teammates. Like
And
obviously,
for the people.
exactly. And obviously he wants to win, but it's different. He's from Serbia, bro, like a war-torn country where he grew up in fucking bomb shelters.
Completely
bro.
different, bro. He grew up completely different. Yeah.
Like there's so much more to basketball for him. And in America, we're so privileged that basketball players, like that ball is life. Like that is their life, is basketball. And for Jokic, it's not that. He's got family
And horses.
And horses.
He's gonna get a new horse, dude.
Exactly. That's racing on fucking Sunday, I think, or Saturday. Go Jokic's horse, whatever the fuck it's named.
Hell yeah,
But-
that's fire. I didn't know he raced the horses. Dude.
No,
Well,
he's
he
not
was a
riding
jockey.
it, but
I know he was a jockey at some point.
that's
but-
why he wanted to leave that's why he said about the parade. He was like, "When's the parade?" And they're like, "Thursday." And he's like, "Fuck."
he's gonna miss his race.
Yeah, he was like, "I need to go home." And so, but he lives home in Serbia.
He said he was glad he stayed though on stage while
Yeah.
we were there. That was fire.
Yeah, he's like, "I don't want to stay, but I fucking love the parade." And so many people have said that's so relatable to people, because how many times have you been like, "Oh, I don't really want to go out," and then you end up going out and you have a great time? It's like that was Jokic. Jokic's like, "Oh fuck the parade, dude, I want to go," and he's like, "This parade's fucking sick."
Yeah, this parade is lit as fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just super relatable. He's such a good guy.
I think Jokic is so dialed in and such a team player that he the joy of winning this championship to him was something to be experienced with him and his teammates and his staff and team and company. And it's just as silly as this may sound, it's not that he doesn't do it for the fans, because he clearly loves the fans and the fanship and all that it comes with. But I think he's more so just he does it for his teammates, and then he then realized how impactful he is on Denver's history. If he doesn't get a statue, I would be shocked.
Yeah, he probably will. He should.
He got two-time MVP. He fucked around and would have got a third if he wanted it. And if Denver played him more, then he would have been three-time, in my opinion. And then he gets Finals MVP, Western Conference MVP. Come on now, give the man his flowers.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying he's already top 25 all time, which is crazy.
I mean, he's undoubtedly on a list. He's going to be on Mount Rushmore for big men probably by the end of next season. And that's hard to say because you're booting out someone who's just a complete legend, but he's in his own way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. He's a point. He's a guard center.
Yeah,
you know
point center.
Point center. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
And I don't
no,
want
it's
to boot
crazy.
anybody, but at the same time, we got to give this man his flowers.
Yeah, and we can have the discussion of the top four centers. I mean, we got Shaq, we got Hakeem, we got Kareem, and then we got Wilt, we got Bill Russell. Tim Duncan was more of a power forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you got to kick two guys out of that.
Yeah.
And that's tough. I think he's better than Wilt already. And then Bill Russell's tough to kick out because he has fucking 6 rings as a
No, he has 11.
11 rings.
11
as a,
rings.
As a
Jesus.
player.
As a player, and one of them, he was also the coach of the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, exactly.
So he was a
Beast.
player and coach.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, those dudes have their flowers, but, like, Wilt Chamberlain played in an era where he was, like, the only 7-footer. So that takes away from what he could have potentially done outside of the era. Obviously, he would have been competent. Same thing for Bill Russell. Like, Bill Russell played in an era where it was, like, the entire league wasn't necessarily completely, like, desegregated yet, you know? So that kind of is a star asterisk. Jokic is playing against the verified best athletes to ever dribble basketball right now. Because with time, sports science alone suggests that all these athletes are just getting better.
Yeah. Oh, and then I forgot about, did I say Shaq earlier?
Yeah, you said Shaq.
So-
Shaq cannot be dethroned, sadly, just because of the dominance. But he's not. Shaq doesn't offer what, like, Shaq wasn't ever a triple-double guy.
Jokic is more skilled
Mm-hmm.
than Shaq. Shaq was a physical freak that just dominated on offense and on defense in the paint. But Jokic is just so much more than that.
He's a fundamental, like, that's what you have to be. He doesn't have a high vertical, even though he could still yam if he wanted it.
Yeah, he's a finesse player. He's one of the most offensively dominant players we've seen,
Oh, yeah.
for sure, and maybe we'll ever see. Because he just can pass it. He can do everything that you would want an offensive player to do. He can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just fucking wild. It's crazy.
Fucking intense, man.
Yeah.
And I think we're doing it again next year.
Yep. Nuggets are the favorites currently right now.
Yep.
They're at plus 460. Bucks are at plus 490. Give it a couple months.
Yeah.
Nuggets will come down that list once we get some free agent moves.
Exactly.
And before we get too deep, Webby and friends, guys, I'm opening up for Chris Webby, Doobie, Dizzy Wright, Caskey, Echo, Stevie Stone. So hit me up for tickets by scanning this QR code.
So while we're on the topic,
Or just hit me up. Just DM me. Hit the link below. I'm going to be performing with those guys selling tickets right now. And do not forget, July 7th, dropping a new music video. Hit them. That's going to be hitting everywhere. So hit the link below, y'all.
So while we're on the topic, who, like, other than Brown, is a pending free agent for the Nuggets?
I believe Jeff Green, DeAndre Jordan, Ish Smith.
DeAndre Jordan's the first dude from the Big Three to get a ring. From him, CP3 and Blake.
Griffin. Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. I mean, DeAndre played like 3 minutes in Game 5, which were pretty crucial because Jokic was in foul trouble, Aaron Gordon was in foul trouble. But yeah, those guys, obviously Bruce Brown, which everyone chanted Bruce's name and sounds like he's going to come back. So that's fucking sick. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we really need to pick anyone up. Obviously,
ZZ.
ZZ is wild, bro.
obviously we would want to pick people that make us better. But we have some good young talent. We got Peyton Watson. He's going to be really good. Everyone's been hyping him up. Obviously, Christian Brown did what he did. Like, he's just going to get better.
His resume is goated.
Yeah.
He's like a 3-time high school state champion.
Yep. In
Goes
Kansas
to
City.
Yep, and then he goes to the University of Kansas. I don't like that school, but that is the best basketball college, I would say, in the country, just historically. Goes there, wins a natty with them, and then his very rookie season, he's now an NBA champion. That resume is unfucking paralleled.
Yeah, I think he's only like the third player to win a national championship and then NBA championship 2 consecutive years.
Insane.
Which is wild. Which he didn't do it alone, but he was just on the team. But he played a significant role, for sure, especially in the finals.
So he's clearly, like, big moment ready.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and just, I can't get over how impressed I am with the team, and I'm just so proud. And one of the things, I don't want to spend too much time on this, is that with the parade and with the celebrations, I feel like these guys are just normal dudes. Like Aaron Gordon celebrating with the fans after Game 5 in the streets.
That
Like,
In his game
that
shorts.
was
He didn't even take his
wild.
game shorts off.
shirtless, game shorts. Like, bro, that's just fucking
He's wildin'.
so
He was
cool.
wildin', dude.
It's so cool,
That's so
bro.
cool.
And then, like, these guys getting all faded. Coach Malone getting faded as fuck. Like, Steve Kerr's no diss on him, but he's not getting faded for the
That's what I
celebration.
was saying. He's
you know
he's
why?
real calm and composed. He's not very emotional.
Well,
He's
my
not
man-
going to do that.
My man's boring.
I mean,
My
I don't
man
know
is
if he's
boring.
I don't know if he's boring, but he's a straight shooter.
Ah,
And-
okay. He ain't boring.
And Mike Malone's he just doesn't give a fuck, which is great. And he's a player's coach, and it works with his guys, and he's so real with his guys.
It's like Tiger Woods and Paul Daly.
John Daly.
John Daly. Who's Paul Daly? That's a fighter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Okay,
a fighter.
okay.
Damn it. Yeah.
I get you. Yeah, I get your point though. That's Yeah, that's kind of like Coach Malone. Yeah. So, but I'm
He
just
says
so
John Daly.
I'm
Damn
so
it.
proud of our guys because they're just so down to earth, and the parade showed it too. Like we're chanting MPJ's name, and he's like so humble. He was like it's okay, guys. He was like thanks. He like waved at us, like us three, like
Yeah.
because we were all chanting his name and no one else was chanting his name, and it was just really cool because
It was so cool. We were so close.
That's how close we were. Like
We were
enough
so
for
close.
Tiana to throw her jersey onto the fire truck, and if
Damn.
you've ever tried to throw a jersey, can't throw it that far.
Can't throw it that far.
So it
And
was.
she hit. She was literally a foot off from actually hitting Murray like perfectly, like in front of him.
Yeah.
She just fucks that whole signature up. He's just and then it lands on his hands.
Yeah. He was trash. Everyone was trash.
Everyone was faded, bro.
It was great.
Justifiably so.
Yeah, I'm so glad I went. I'm so glad we
It was,
went.
dude. It was once in a lifetime, bro. I was not gonna miss it.
Dude, it was.
It was so fun, man. I wanted to be there because I knew it was gonna be a giant party event. Like it was so fun, dude. It was
Also,
so cool.
a thing to be noted is the NBA parade, in my opinion, is the best year-timed parade of any like sports because it's in the summertime.
Summer, yeah.
Like when the
man.
Chiefs won the Super Bowl, I was like, I'm gonna go to the parade, and then I'm just like, oh, it's February, dog.
Yeah.
Never mind. Like that's
Yeah.
cold as shit. So,
Yeah, and it could be hot, and it wasn't hot. That it was kind of hot, but it wasn't.
Colorado's
too
Wasn't
doing
that,
it-
no, we had a perfect spot though.
Yeah, we're in the shade.
We were in the shade, all perfect.
We couldn't really see that much because of the limbs of the tree, but
Yeah.
oh well.
we were in the shade. Yeah.
Still, you were there. That's like,
I mean,
dude.
that was for the speech.
Yeah, that was
in
just
the
for the
actual
speech. But hold on,
parade,
when-
it was-
when-
we were
when-
that perfect spot.
Yeah, yeah.
But for the speech, we had that perfect spot at first, but then we tried to get a little closer and got a shittier spot because of like just where it was.
Yeah.
just when we're like old as shit, like let's say 40 years down the road, and we're just going over like the amount of rings that like all of our favorite sports franchises have won. Hell, it could be episode like 700 of this bitch, and we're just gonna be like, remember when the Nuggets did it, bro?
Yeah.
The first time, and you guys would be like, yeah, bro, that parade was sick.
It was crazy.
That's a memory that
So
you
crazy.
can't take away from you guys.
Yeah.
So that was a sea of people, bro.
Yeah, and I'm confident that the Nuggets will win at least one more championship. I don't know if
Same.
it'll be next year. I don't know if it'll be the year after that. But I'm confident Jokic will at least get one more ring. And, you know, I went to the parade. I don't have to go to the next parade. You know, maybe I might want to, but
Might want to.
I won't feel like I'm missing out or that I haven't experienced that.
Yeah.
In case
We
they
did
don't
it.
win
We
another
did it.
ring. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it was just so cool. And I don't know. Such great
The
basketball being
state showed
played.
up, dude.
They did.
Because how many basketball teams where they don't have a parade like that, like where it's like that,
Yeah.
like that?
Also,
like,
shit was
that
crazy.
was crazy.
Something that I think should be noted is I thought the officiating in Game 5 early was sus. They
Oh,
were like,
even at
yeah,
the end.
bro,
like
dude.
that Jimmy 3 where no one fucking
where the
touched him.
kick, where the kick.
I remember
dude,
when
come on.
that happened. I was sitting there watching my TV, and I was because he pretty much tied the ball game up or near it after that.
Close, yeah.
It was like down 1 or whatever it was. When that happened, I was like, if the fucking Miami Heat pull this game off, SportsCenter is never gonna live it down. Twitter is never gonna live that play down. 'Cause that play
Seriously,
will have,
bro, he didn't even. Oh my god, that play was.
I
I was watching with my parents. My mom was freaking out.
Oh,
she was
yeah.
like,
the whole
I freaked out too. I was like, no.
the whole bar was fucking going crazy, bro. They're
That
about
was-
to riot.
Jimmy Butler was like
Bro.
public enemy #1 in Denver
Dude,
for that
Denver
moment.
would have
on the left.
rioted. Denver would have had a riot.
Well, we did have a riot because we won, but it would have been a really pissed
It
riot.
would have
if
been
we
a bad
would've lost.
riot. Yeah, it would have been a bad riot.
Now, I don't know if I called it or if I suggested it, but I did say that I think the Nuggets would do it in 5, and how cool would it be for them to win it in Denver?
Yeah. No, yeah.
So, not
Well-
like a I told you so moment at all, more so like, how perfect was that? That's like a
Yeah.
Goldilocks ending
It's
to a
dude.
season.
It was like the perfect ending.
Yeah.
I wish I was there for the night when they won it. I wanted to be there so bad. As I seen all the stuff going down, I like got sad. I was like, oh, why am I not?
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't go downtown, but
and so,
that shit was wild.
That would have been
downtown.
fun. That would have been fun, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, downtown would have been crazy.
You saw videos of it, right?
Yes,
yeah.
dude.
It was
So-
crazy.
Yes, it was crazy.
I commented on like how when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, I was like, this is my favorite year of sports because like it was the Warriors were the NBA champs, the Chiefs were the Super Bowl champs, and
Yeah.
then I won fantasy football or whatever. And so you guys for like 48 hours, you had the Nuggets and the Avalanche being the reigning defending champs.
Yeah.
And then Vegas just won it.
And then
so-
Vegas won it.
yeah.
like 48 hours later. So.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, did you hear that a police officer got hit by a fire truck in the parade?
Lovely.
That's why it was so like spread apart for a while.
Oh,
Remember
really?
Remember we were waiting. We're like, where's the rest of the trucks? fire truck hit a police officer like in the road.
That's
At least
crazy.
there was
So they
medics on
stopped
hand.
everything and
They were going
medics on
slow
hand.
as fuck.
How do you do this, Mr. Police Officer?
Oh
How
my
do you do this,
God.
bro? Can
And,
you
and
get it?
fire truck driver. Like
What
both,
are you doing, dude?
Both
What
parties.
are you guys doing? They're just trashed.
Right? This is great.
Everyone's faded. Oh, it was so fun, man. It was so fun.
Are you guys aware of any NBA free agents that are worth talking about? One that I was going to mention is Draymond today is believed to have opted out or will be opting out of his like $20-some million player option, and the team is optimistic about retaining him. I mentioned before Bob Myers stepped down as the GM. The new GM is Mike Dunleavy Jr.
Yeah.
He used to play for Chicago, and his dad played as well.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to have him as a general manager for the team.
Yeah, I mean, that job, I don't know if I would want that job. Because I obviously have Steph, but like you're in a 2-year window, and then after that, you're just blowing that shit up.
Yeah.
So for Draymond, I don't see Draymond taking a pay cut because him and Jordan Poole have beef, and you just paid Jordan Poole all this fucking money, and you not gonna pay me? Like, what the fuck?
Now,
So I'm accepting. If I'm staying with the Warriors, I'm accepting that. If I'm not staying with the Warriors, then I'm declining and going somewhere else.
well, so the news that also broke recently is that it's reported that since he's became general manager, he's already receiving calls for both Kuminga and Poole. So
Yeah.
if you can get rid of Jordan Poole, because he's on an extremely expensive contract that they were kind of forced to give him coming off that championship run anyway, you get him off your books, save a little bit of money. Maybe that motivates Draymond to stick around. Now, as far as what do you do to retain like talent at that point, I don't know. Because if you just keep Steph, Clay, and Dre, I don't think them and like Looney, they're not enough to put it over. Like you keep all those guys, and you still have like Andrew Wiggins. That's a good starting five still, but we're even less deep with Jordan Poole gone, and he's not even that deep this past season.
And Kuminga,
And Kuminga didn't get anywhere near enough minutes, but he's such a liability at times.
yeah,
He's a dude who can like rim run and play really, really good defense, or he plays like low IQ moments where it's just like, come on, dog, you need to like switch or hedge or something.
yeah.
So
I mean, but I think that's what hurt you guys last year was the depth. I mean,
That's
you guys
true,
just didn't
but-
have the depth, and I don't think you guys. I think DiVincenzo's leaving.
yeah, he's probably gone. But if
Exactly.
I'm not mistaken, he was honestly wonderful though.
He
I
was
loved,
decent.
I loved everything that he brought to the team. His like go-getter mentality, everything. Like he was a really good defensive player. Made clutch threes at times. He wasn't really like a take the game over type of dude, but he could go off for like 15 points on any given night.
Yeah, but you guys you're gonna have to replace all those guys, and whether you can get as good of players is questionable.
It's beyond questionable.
And obviously, Klay Thompson didn't play very well in the playoffs.
Nope.
In the first round, he played okay, but in the second round, played really bad. So hopefully he can bounce back. But everyone's a year older. Steph's the only one that's still doing his thing.
He's still like he's not necessarily in his prime, but he's not regressing really.
He's regressing slowly, but his game is not really athletically based.
Other than his cardio,
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah. I mean, obviously his acceleration will take a small hit, but that's not what he relies on ultimately. So I'm not worried about Steph. I think he'll still be good. But you guys need Draymond. If you guys don't get Draymond, then you guys aren't competing for a championship.
No,
It's
no,
just
that's
that.
implied.
It's just that simple.
His basketball IQ and what he's capable of doing on defense, even though it doesn't look like a bunch of numbers on a piece of paper, you can watch mad highlight reels of this past like playoffs run alone of him getting like 2-on-1 fast breaks by himself and stopping it. So
Yeah.
he's definitely irreplaceable.
Yeah.
What other news we could address? We have to address the John Morant news.
Yeah, let's go ahead and address that.
So John Morant, what's his name? David Stern? Is that the NBA president?
No, that was the old one.
That's the old one. I can't think of the current
Adam
one.
Silver.
Adam Silver. So yeah, Adam Silver announced that John Morant has been suspended officially for 25 games, and there are other implications which they haven't necessarily outlined. I have to assume social media related. Probably, I wouldn't be shocked if the NBA had to impose like a legal chaperone to keep his whereabouts like A1. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that is even legal. I don't know what that looks like, but with the amount of money he's making, he's on a big contract. He's one of the biggest faces in the NBA, undoubtedly, especially being as young as he is. So, I mean, do I think this is a just punishment? I suppose he's going to lose a hell of a lot of money. I'm not mad at what he did. I'm mad at the implications of what he did and him getting caught on live. Like, if you could just do that and not get recorded and no one knows that that's what you're up to, more power to you, because that's none of my business. When everyone sees it and you got kids who look up to you, you just look dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 25 games, I think, is a little on the low side, but that's close to a third of the season.
Yep.
So, that's kind of a lot.
That should have significant implications on the team's success.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt they're going to be a really high seed, but they play pretty good without him.
They do play higher IQ basketball without him.
Yeah, so, but there's implications, so it might increase. That's what I take away from it. I'm like, okay, if you violate, it's kind of like parole almost, is how I'm thinking about it, is if you violate this, then you're going to get suspended some more games or something like that. That's what I envisioned with the whole, whatever you called it earlier. So, I think it's just, hopefully he gets his shit together, because it's not a good look for the kids that are looking up to Ja. And they're like, oh, well, I want to be like Ja Morant, and then now I'm going to be toting guns around. Like,
is there kids looking up to Ja like that?
Oh,
absolutely,
sure.
absolutely.
Dude, he does the gritty, and everyone.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
First of all,
yeah,
if you
forgot about that.
If you just like Yams, aka getting mean, savvy dunks, Ja
Morant's the man.
He's top 3 flashiest dunker in the league right now.
You're right. You
and
guys are totally.
Everyone
right.
loves watching dunks, and he's the best dunker in the NBA, other than maybe Zion. Which we'll talk about in maybe a second.
We definitely should. We should just segue right into that. So Zion is rumored to be getting shopped.
Might get traded.
He might get traded, and like there's all kinds of things coming out. Like allegedly, I read that he has no established relationship with virtually the whole team. Like he doesn't associate with them outside of like practice and
What?
That's
not good.
That's definitely not good.
He does rehab like wherever he wants. He goes wherever. Like a lot of teams will be like, let's do rehab at the facility so we can help you and give you, and then keep an eye on you as well. It's like weird to keep an eye on you, but just make sure they're doing everything they need to be doing. Yeah. And he's like, I'm good. I'm gonna go here, and they're like, okay, because they just signed into a like $250 million contract extension.
What a fucking hater! Why is he being such a hater?
So him getting traded has a couple teams that are the internet seems to deem the best landing spots for him, and like one of the ones that I've seen talked about a lot is the Knicks. But the thing about that is Julius Randle would be irrefutably, it would be a multi-team trade, because no one's gonna just trade Randle for Zion. That's not.
Yeah.
No one's into that.
Yeah.
As far as where they will go or where he could go, like that's one I saw. I saw some people were trying to say like the Bulls. I don't know if they can afford him, or like they're shopping Zach LaVine as we speak.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that they're trying to get rid of. It's kind of a catch-22 with Zion. If you assume Zion is going to be on the court and participating and healthy, that's the good faith assumption. He's like a 27-point-a-night guy. He's a beast. He's undoubtedly a valuable asset to whatever team can have him. But he's not strung together like a 75-game, like just 75 games in a row in his entire professional career.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's very like nerve-wracking. He's got all this money going towards him. So the teams that are going to get him aren't teams that are competing right now, logically.
Well, so some people are saying that they might trade Zion for the second or third overall pick in the draft.
I was hearing that.
So that puts it to the Hornets. LaMelo and Zion, fire. Don't know if that'll happen, but that'd be sick.
I don't know.
And then
Could you imagine that NBA announcer?
Dude, oh my God, yes. Have you heard the NBA announcer for the Hornets?
He needs to be in WWE.
I'm pretty sure you guys showed me that.
He's crazy.
What do you do? Like, he just screams.
Everything. Three-pointer in the corner, he's going wild. Like, it's the NBA Finals, and they just won the championship.
He's like the Gus Johnson of NBA.
They're all 20. They're all 25 down, huh?
Yeah, dude,
but no,
for real.
That's fire. That's what you need.
That would be sick.
That's a real hype, man.
The third pick is Portland. So he could go with Dame. These are all hypotheticals because Dame's trying to get with another superstar, and so Zion would complete that. But
that'd be a fire duo.
Do you miss out on the potential of Zion Williamson? Because he's a
medical bust in my heart.
Well, but he's a talent that if you're wrong on Zion, like that will
you're
stay with your carear forever. Like the next team, you get fired. The next team, like, why'd you trade Zion? Like, I'm sorry, he missed like so many games. Now, if you're the Pelicans, if I'm the Pelicans GM, I'm not trading Zion. One reason, in his contract, he has injury protocols. So if he's injured, he doesn't get paid as much.
Also, he has weight protocols.
And he has weight protocols.
If he weighs more than like 295, that can make him ineligible for game payment.
Exactly.
What?
Yes.
It's because he was the
I didn't know even that was a thing.
when he was at Duke.
It's a contract. You draw it up and they sign it.
Wow.
You get held accountable.
And that's not the case for every player, huh? That's just Zion.
Zion's
well,
big.
It's
Yeah, I know how big
No, like,
he's a
no,
gigantic.
When he was
yeah.
at Duke, like he obviously went into the league later. At Duke in his college form, he would have walked into the league in that format, the second heaviest guy in the whole league.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's a big dude.
At like 18 years old,
yeah,
19
and
years old.
He's only like 6'8", 6'7". It's not like he's like 6'11", where he's like a big dude.
Yeah.
He's just like built like a football player.
Him,
But he's
6'8's
tall.
big though. Like
It is, but Jokic, he's
yeah, how tall
smaller
is
than
Jokic?
Jokic. He's like 6'11". Everyone
My
calls him a 7-footer,
God,
but
dude.
he
And it's so
outweighs
crazy.
Jokic by like probably like what?
20 pounds maybe. It depends. I haven't seen him in a
Regardless,
minute.
though, so like this is crucial because it's like you got to like look
Yeah.
past Zion as like the number 1 overall draft pick because that's no longer. It's not that he isn't that. It's just this is a different circumstance. This is a super paid, valuable, injury prone guy. So
Yeah.
the question is where is he going to go and what teams are on his radar?
Well, yeah. I mean, he doesn't have a no trade clause, so the team can ship him wherever the fuck they want. If I'm the Pelicans GM, I'm not really trying to trade him. I'm trying to keep him and just ride the wave. And if I fuck up, then I fuck up. But you don't want Zion to be the best player in basketball, which he potentially could be, and then you're that guy that missed out on that.
True.
So
I mean, if I'm the Pelicans, though, as lame as this sounds, like if you could somehow get your like second overall pick, let's say,
yeah,
and then you get rid of him, you're gonna get what? Brandon Miller was his name.
yeah, Brandon Miller or Scoot Henderson, whoever you choose.
So let's just say to humor it, you have Brandon Miller for this scenario. So you get Brandon Miller. You've already got Brandon Ingram, who's a valuable asset there. They have a lot of young guys, especially they got young guys who are coming up. I mean, I feel like they would win probably just as many games unless Zion was playing, obviously. If he's playing, you're not going to win more games.
But when Zion was playing, they were the number 1 seed, bro.
Exactly.
You got to remember that. Like, they were good at the beginning of the year. I know it's the beginning of the year. And with Zion's, how he plays, so Ricky, he plays in the paint.
He's a paint.
Goes to the paint.
Big ass guy. I mean, why would he?
And lays it up. Is that doable in the playoffs? Is that going to be as good in the playoffs? That play style? In my opinion, I don't think so. Because big men are going to be like, you're not getting in here. I'm going to do my best to stop you. The regular season, there's not a lot of defense that's getting played. Guys aren't trying to take a charge from a guy that's 280 pounds running at you full speed. I'm not trying to take that charge. Fuck that. Exactly. And these guys aren't either. So, but in the playoffs, guys are going to take that charge because it's a fucking playoffs. It's where you make your money.
Gotta take that hit.
Bruce Brown just made so much money. Gabe Vincent made so much money just from the playoffs. So I don't think once they get to the playoffs, I don't think Zion's game is going to carry over. If Zion can learn how to shoot threes, then that, obviously takes my take away. But I'm not a huge believer in Zion in the playoffs, but they are a good team when he is healthy. Number 1 seed until he got hurt. Once he got hurt, they fucking started shitting the bed.
Yep.
So it's tough. It's at a tough spot for if you're the Pelicans GM. Tough job right now.
They're
Wild, man.
They're fed up, it seems, though.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. And Zion's just got that chick pregnant, the stripper, and there's all kinds of drama with that.
Yep.
So
You got a stripper
In Houston
pregnant?
or wherever.
yeah, you got a stripper pregnant, and then
You got a stripper pregnant?
you didn't hear about this? Yeah.
No, dude.
And then there's a bunch of porn stars coming out that he was hooking up with
He's
them.
Banging porn stars?
Yeah,
And
he's
getting
living life
strippers
while he's
pregnant?
hurt. Yeah, he's living life.
Doesn't he
bro.
have a lady or something? No,
now
is he just
now he
single?
does because he got her pregnant, but yeah. But before that, he didn't.
So he was just single, living the life?
I
Let him do his
guess.
thing.
I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying, as the team, he's got all this is coming out all at the same time. It's
That's
just
not good timing.
unfortunate.
It's the worst timing.
It's unfortunate. So
They're all always getting traded? I'm a porn star, Zion. Fuck me. Like, that's crazy. Damn, Zion's out here like that. I didn't know he was out here like that.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
no, he's living life. For
I mean,
sure.
I guess.
Yeah, a little bit too much. A little bit too
yeah,
much.
that's a little too much. It's too much life living there, I think.
Yeah.
Homie's going in.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So we have the NBA draft. It's happening next Thursday, I believe. So a lot of players are going to get traded before that or not get traded. That's when trades happen
Oh,
because
man.
those draft picks are worth a lot. It's kind of like the NFL draft. A lot of trades will happen
Are
before
we
the
trading
NFL
anybody?
draft.
Is Denver trading anybody?
Probably not. If I'm
I don't
Denver, I'm
think so.
running it back with the same
I'm running
roster,
it back,
bro.
dude.
I'm not trying to trade anyone. If I'm trying to re-sign people, then sure, but I'm not trying to trade anyone
Mm.
unless they're non-valuable. They didn't play that much.
True.
So,
Damn. Okay, Denver.
yeah, Nuggets trade during the NBA Finals traded for two, or I think it's just 1 second-round pick this year, and then a first next year, and then the second next year. During the NBA Finals, we traded for this, which is kind of random, but
Who did we trade?
the Thunder. We traded a first-round draft pick in like 2029 or
Oh,
2027.
damn. Okay, that's
Yeah.
we got a while.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we did that because that's when Jokic's contract's up. That's when
That
Jamal's
makes sense.
contract
Okay,
up.
that makes sense.
So it's worth something because next year's draft pick, I don't even think we have one. But if we did, it wouldn't be worth very much because we're going to be a top 10 team at least. So
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild how far it's come, huh?
it's been crazy, bro. It's been crazy going to the Nuggets.
Because last year we
playoff
made
game
the
last year.
playoffs,
We
and then we
in
lost
the
to the Suns.
No.
No.
Warriors in the first round. Me and Dave went to a game.
Ah!
Yeah.
Oh,
The year-
Dave.
Year before that,
Dude,
we
you...
lost to the
Oh,
Suns.
Dave.
The Warriors.
This guy, dude. I swear.
The Warriors kind of have like a low-key rivalry with the Nuggets, but I kind of blame it on Andre Iguodala because he jumped ship and went to the Warriors. And then that was the like Blossom series where we saw the Steph and Clay Splash Brothers. They splashed all those threes.
Yeah.
They lost that very next season in the first round to CP3 and company and the Clippers. And then it was all she wrote from there. Championship City.
God
Yeah.
damn it.
But the Nuggets
I
are them now.
forgot
And
about that.
Last year, I said this in Denver when we won Game 3. I was in an elated mood. We just won Game 3. We were up like 3-0. So I was walking around yelling like Warriors in 4, which we didn't do. But I said if MPJ and Jamal was healthy and on the court, it's very unlikely we would have won that series. And guess who just won the ship?
Yeah, while healthy.
That group.
Yep.
No coincidence.
That's why I put money on them. That's why I won fucking $350 is because I knew the Nuggets, if healthy, could fucking win the chip. And they fucking were healthy, and they fucking did, dude.
Yeah, it was
fire.
And that's the biggest variable you got to like really wagers is the state of health. Everything outside of that, you guys were built for this. It's just whether or not you get there in that form. And you
Yep.
did, and it worked. It worked great.
And that's why towards the end of the season, Jokic sat out those games is because we wanted to be healthy. That's all we knew we needed to do, and we were still the number 1 seed. So it was a great run for sure. Do you guys think the Nuggets could be a dynasty? Because the Warriors were a dynasty. Do you guys think the Nuggets could be a dynasty?
I confidently think that the Nuggets have the highest odds to win in the West next season. As it sits now, we haven't seen any crazy free agent trades, nothing yet. That being said, beyond the 2-year gap is a little bit of a question mark just because I don't know the contract scenarios for a lot of people. Like, I know Jamal's there for a while. He's got probably like 3 years left on his contract.
Yeah.
MPJ, you guys extended him pretty prematurely, but for good reason.
I think he's got 2 more years.
So then he'll be approaching his maybe like option year or something like that. Jokic, if Jokic wants, and it's all about like how long he sees himself playing in the league, Jokic has the $200 million second contract written all over it, or all over him.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll.
But does he
do
want
that.
that? Because
Yeah.
he might say like, actually, I'm just gonna do like a 2-year, like let's say $45 million contract, and that's all I'm gonna do, and then this is it, because he's exceeded anything he ever had to prove.
Oh yeah, I don't think he came into the league thinking I got to prove this. I
But
think
he's
just
the
trying to ball.
Y'all don't have a dynasty without him, and so that's why I'm like, contracts will potentially hinder that from happening. But if you can
Yeah.
keep this core together, then there's nothing really stopping you, unless someone walks into the
Yeah.
league, crazy free agent move. I don't see any team, like I didn't see any weaknesses, and I don't think you guys are losing anybody, which proceeds to have no weaknesses.
Our core is signed up for the next 2 years.
Exactly.
So
That's
the
why.
next 2 years we have our entire core. So that's my question.
And we-
So next season you should do it. You should be favored to do it. Season after that, you should potentially be favored to do it again. And if you guys can somehow, if you squeak 3 in there, that's a dynasty.
We got to see how they play next year, though.
2,
Like,
2 is borderline.
yeah, two
it's-
is not a dynasty. I think if you have 3 or 4, I think that's depending 3 and depending
if-
on the amount of years.
Now, let's say you guys go next season, don't win the finals, but you go to the finals, and then you go back that very next season and win it. That's a dynasty. That's 3 appearances.
yeah, but the Heat have been to 2 finals in the past 4 years and 3 conference championships, and I don't think they're not a dynasty.
No.
They haven't won one, but even if they won 1 NBA Finals, I wouldn't consider them a dynasty because
But I consider 3 appearances kind of a like 3 appearances and 2 wins is pretty dynastic because
Yeah.
that's the like if you consider winning 3 a dynasty, winning 2 but going to 3 is like a diet dynasty.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. What were
We
you
just
gonna say?
we just have to see because we got to see their motivation next year too. Like
It's true.
your motivation's
Jokic-
completely different when you don't have a ring and you've never been to a finals before, as it is coming off of a beautiful win when you're sleeping in silk sheets now. Like let's see how these people or how our team responds next year. Like we got to see how their response is
Yeah.
next year
I-
because if
Now-
they got to be firing still.
Yeah.
The scary thought is if
Got to be firing still.
out of all of your guys' lineup, the only player that I think has the eyesight potential to really get a lot better going into next season. This is not a backhanded statement. I think MPJ has a lot of room for improvement as to where I think Jamal Murray averaging like 30 points a night in the playoff, 27 points a night in the playoffs. Like there's obviously room for perfection, but that like I would tell him do whatever you're doing. Don't
Yeah.
change it. Keep doing it. Same thing. Jokic, do whatever you're doing. Don't change it. Aaron Gordon, whatever you did for these playoff runs, keep it up, brother. Like shit like that.
Yeah.
MPJ could legitimately take another step. Like he could win MVP or not MVP. He could win NBA Most Improved Player next year. He could have won it this year. He was honestly like one of the potential dudes to win it. So
Yeah.
that's also a very awesome thought.
He had a great regular season. Just
Yeah.
when the finals came around, he was just couldn't hit a shot.
But he knows
no one could.
He knows his job on that team is to be like third guy up on the points technically. Like obviously
He
there's
should
other
be.
dudes, but in a perfect world he should be the number 3 guy.
Yeah, yeah. MPJ definitely has the most to improve. But hopefully he gets it back, and he's still young. Like he's the youngest out of all those guys. He's the youngest by far. So, I'm confident he'll be good. And if he doesn't, then we basically won the finals like without MPJ. MPJ played a good role in Game 5. He had like 17 points.
Yeah, I was gonna
13
say Game
boards.
5 he kind of showed back up.
But he still couldn't shoot though.
He made a nice 3 in Game 5.
He made that 1 3.
The 1-3, yeah.
Which was
I wonder what he was though. What was he like? 1 for?
He was like 1 of 6, I think. And when he shot that, I'm
That's
like,
not good at all.
whoa, that's a crazy shot. And I'm like, it's so crazy, it might go in, and it fucking went in.
It'd be like that
Shit was
sometimes.
wild though.
It was. We needed that shot too.
The
We
bar
needed that.
erupted. Every single 3 that we shot that was open, the bar was getting ready to explode, and then it didn't go in. We're like, oh, and then every time, oh, and then finally he hit that 3.
And we were like, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's fire.
It was crazy. He hit that little nutmeg where he like went behind his leg and caught it. That shit was wild.
He was losing the ball and managed to keep it going with his momentum.
He did that on purpose, but like it was very risky. But he made it work. I love MPJ. He's great.
He's awesome.
Shout out MPJ. You played like 1.5 like games in a tournament outside of the March Madness for Mizzou,
Yeah.
but you're still Mizzou.
You Mizzou.
Yeah.
That'd be a hard jersey to have. An MPJ Mizzou jersey.
That would be sick.
The
Their
black and
jerseys are
gold.
pretty sick. Yeah.
Jesus. It's fire.
So out of all the championships in Colorado, Ricky, I want you to rank this. Which ones would mean the most to you? Like out of all the 4 major sports.
Fuck.
Baseball
man.
ain't got it yet.
Right, but like if they were to win, like which one would mean?
I'm
the
gonna go out on a
most to
limb
you?
and say that is his least significant one.
It was baseball, yeah, for sure.
Is the least one. So
Yeah.
what's number 1? Broncos.
Then hockey is 3rd, and then I don't know, man. I don't know if it probably would be if the Broncos won the Super Bowl. Would it be that lit? Like, I didn't get to go the last time, so I really
Yeah.
don't know how it was. Like, did it have the turnout like the Nuggets had?
Again, it's in February.
Yeah, maybe not, but
I don't think so. But honestly,
it's pretty close. I'm sure.
I want the Broncos. I grew up watching more football than basketball, so I want the Broncos to win the Super Bowl more. But I want the finals to happen again and us to win it again, so I can
Yeah.
go and have fun with everybody who just had fun this year.
Yeah.
Like I would want that again. But even if we didn't do it back to back, I'd still want that. So I
So
want to
if
say,
you-
I don't know. That's a hard pick,
Guaran-
man. That's hard.
Guaranteed,
That's hard.
whoever you pick wins a championship next year. Broncos or Nuggets.
Okay, if I pick,
Like guaranteed. Like
I mean,
you pick them, they win a championship.
I
and
think
it's
you-
next year, no matter
Yes,
what. Like
yes.
next year from this year, Nuggets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Back to back. Come on.
now
Okay.
one thing.
Back to back. You know how lit it's gonna be back to back.
That would be sick.
The parade was crazy this year. If we did it again,
That would be wild.
Mike Malone would be on the mic, even more drunk, way more drunk,
Yes. Way more
and he'd be
drunk.
like, "Wait, what did I say?
Yeah.
we were gonna be back, and we're back, dude.
Yeah.
It'd be intense. It would be intense. I'd go earlier this time. I'd
Right.
go earlier. Yeah, man. Come on, dude. It would be crazy.
That'd be sick.
I would love that. Yeah. Hands down. I wouldn't even give it a thought for the Broncos to win. Because let's be honest. We're trash right now.
Yeah, probably.
We're trash right now. You know what I mean? So, I would be so surprised if we did it, though. What if we won a Super Bowl with our team now? That'd be
I don't think that's
crazy.
happening,
That
but
would never.
That'd be crazy though.
There's like a negative 0% chance of that. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't make a negative 0, but you get it.
Yeah.
Like
Underdog story as fuck.
dude, that would be intense. But the party is wild. For
Yeah.
the
Like I expected the Nuggets to make the finals this year. Like that was my expectation.
Yeah.
Not to win it, but obviously that's what I wanted. But like my bare minimum
To make it
expectation
all the way.
was like we should make the finals this year.
we have the
Yeah.
better team if we look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. We'd have to really break it
Well,
down. But
last year at the beginning of the year,
at the
I was
beginning
like,
of the year, yeah.
I was like, we should make it.
Hmm.
What were we gonna say earlier, Dave?
I was gonna say it's kind of cool to think about. Like one way basketball is kind of more lit than football in terms of being a fan. So imagine you're a fan. If your team goes on a playoff run, you have like if you're in the wild card, you have that game to look forward to. If you go to the second round, you have that game to look forward to. If you're in the conference championship, that's like 3 games you can kind of get lit for, and then game 4 being Super Bowl, you have an entire series of opportunities to be lit for your team, to be involved in your city, all these things. And then
Yeah.
like imagine if like the perfect storm would be if your team was the in the finals, the lower seed, but you sweep the opposing team. So games 3 and 4 are at home. Could you imagine the pandemonium of that? And the
Right.
Nuggets could do that.
Yeah. So this is a good point. Who do you guys think's more likely to be a back-to-back champ, the Chiefs or the Nuggets?
Chiefs.
You think the Chiefs?
Mm-hmm.
You think so?
We're favored to win every game this year.
Right, but
Yeah,
it's the
you guys
Super
have
Bowl.
Don't you guys have an easier schedule this year too?
We're like middle of the
than
pack.
last year.
The
Middle of the
last
pack?
year we had the hardest first 8
So then you-
games in
yes,
terms of like
definitely.
success in like NFL history
Your schedule's looking pretty easy.
compared to what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I genuinely think that the Chiefs, like, there's less room for error in football. That's an absolute fact.
That's what I'm saying. One person goes down. The better team in basketball typically will win a series because you have 7 games to prove, okay, we're the better team.
Yep.
Football, you have 1 game. You have, 48 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
No, more than that.
An hour.
60 minutes to prove. But if someone goes down, if someone rolls an ankle,
Especially the king on the chessboard, the quarterback.
Exactly.
That is supposed to be the
or
Hold on.
Kelsey, you know what I mean?
or like a
Did-
key player. Yeah.
Did
like that.
Mahomes not roll his shit and then go win Super Bowl MVP?
I mean, just had to bring that up, huh?
I mean, he did it.
You just explained quarterback and ankle. I'm sorry.
He rolled it.
He got landed on against Jacksonville.
Yeah, so that was like multiple weeks after the fact. But, you know, that
The way he said it.
well, exactly. I thought you meant that it happened during the
Wait,
game, which I know
no.
you know didn't happen. But
Yeah.
that's what the way it sounded.
So he got his ankle hurt against Jacksonville. They wanted to take him out. He refused to go out. Managed to like walk it off, was still tense, and then played with a bum ankle for the remainder of the postseason.
Well, they shot him up at halftime.
let's
They shot.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They pulled out the suitcase.
Yeah, exactly.
Got the they got the special shit.
But,
My man got shot up.
I was only mentioning that because of the way you verbatim explain what Mahomes did. You're like, if one person goes down, like a quarterback rolls his ankle. I'm just like,
I said, or a key player like a fucking Kelsey.
Yeah.
yeah, if Kelsey goes down, like obviously we're not as.
But that was sketch. When Mahomes went down, everyone was like, "Oh fuck, Chiefs probably aren't going to win this game."
Probably not.
And
yeah.
so, and if it happens in one game in the NBA Finals, he can come back the next game, or Western Conference
Potentially,
Finals.
yeah, of course.
Right. Versus football, it's like if you're out for that game, they're done. So my point is that I think there's a lot more variables in an NFL game.
Yep.
Than there is a NBA Finals. Typically, the best team in NBA Finals or just NBA playoff series is going to win. Not always in the NFL does that happen.
The expression in the NFL, even though it applies to any game, is any given Sunday.
Yeah, any given Sunday. Yeah.
There's no such thing as any given series.
Yeah.
We've never heard that. We've seen series that like flip flopped, and we've seen some wishy-washy performances, but it's not really like that in the NBA, which is true. So do they have the least room for error in the postseason? Sure, but I just think that we have the best coach in football. I don't think Malone, in no discredit to him, I don't consider him the best coach in basketball.
Yeah,
but in the
neither do I.
in the West, I think he's got to be like top 3, top 4. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'd say he's probably top 3. Only people I'd put over him is Spoelstra, Kerr, and and I'd say Malone is number 3.
There you go.
I mean, Greg Popovich is still pretty good, but he hasn't done shit in a while.
So all things considered, just comparing the two, like the Nuggets have a lot better opportunity to do it because of the variables of making the playoffs, games you can afford to lose, stuff like that. I just don't think that. I think both teams are the favorites to win the championships next year.
They are. Nuggets are barely. When the season starts, I guarantee the Nuggets will not be the favorites to win the championship.
That could be a fun, crazy 2-part parlay to have both
Yeah.
those teams win their championships.
I don't know if you could parlay that up, but if you can,
I've seen some
great.
crazy. This one dude bet like $100 on Argentina, the Chiefs, and the Nuggets in a 3-part parlay. He bet like $100 and he won like 82 grand. And
Damn, that's
and-
dude. That's so
and
intense.
he attended.
How do you guess that? That is so.
He attended Game 5 in person, so like you can
Of
watch.
the Nuggets.
Oh, that's so fire. That's how you live, right there.
$100 bet. It was either 100 or 1,000. I think it was 1,000. Regardless, you just made
I would
like
attend Game 5.
you just made like 80 grand, my guy, on a
That's
3.
wild.
And that's like if you think
3
about it,
legs.
the Nuggets were maybe not favorites. Argentina,
Fuck no.
who knows about soccer and betting on soccer? But you have
They were
Messi.
the favorites. They
So
were
you
the
have
favorites.
Argentina, who's questionably favorites. The Chiefs, who were questionably the favorites, and then you have the Nuggets, who should have been the favorites.
They were like plus 2,000 when I bet on them in October.
So that's a very
Yeah.
that sounds like a generic safe parlay with just all the odds stacked against it.
you wouldn't win that much because I think the Chiefs are definitely the favorites. I think at like plus 400
It's
or
like
something like that.
the Eagles might be number 1, but it's
think the
them.
Chiefs,
It's those two.
I would say
Regardless,
the Chiefs probably
well, while we're
because they beat them.
While we're mentioning football very briefly, there's not much news to be had. The Chiefs got their Super Bowl rings last night.
Oh, really? Are they cool?
Oh, dude. I sent them to our Discord chat because they're just that fire. It's subjective. Obviously, it's your team, it's your ring, but it's really cool. They have a whole ceremony where, like, when you open the box has an LED screen, and it plays highlights, and it's got, like, Mitch Holtis.
Oh, I think I seen that.
Mitch Holtis screaming, like, Kansas City. It just, dude,
I think I seen that.
chills. Can't find my...
Yeah, that's fire, dude.
I'll show you.
Good rings.
So Chiefs are plus 600 to win the Super Bowl. Nuggets are plus 460.
We're more
So
favorites.
we are more favorites. If you do a 2-leg parlay, that's plus 3,200.
Damn, that's a good.
You bet
good
$10 to win 380.
Oh, that's fucking dope, dude. That's a sick ring. That's a sick ring right there.
And so
That's fire.
one thing
That's
I wanted to
fire.
make note. So
The
there was
3 trophies. That's fire.
there was a press conference recently where it was with the Bengals, and they asked Joe Burrow, like, who do you consider the best quarterback in the league? And his response was very politically correct. He was just like, yeah, I would have to say Pat until someone can knock him off his throne.
Yeah.
And that doesn't shade himself in any way. He's not like, 'cause if you think about it, you want him to say himself, but whatever. And then they interviewed Jamar Chase in the locker room or some shit. Like, I don't know what the circumstance was. They're like, how do you feel about what he said about who's the best quarterback in the league? And he goes, who did he say? He said Pat. And then he goes, Pat who? And then that started a little Twitter drama. And so when Pat got his second ring, he's wearing both of his rings and he's going like that. And he says, like something like, he tweeted like, I'm who or some shit like that. So
Oh.
he was joking back at Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Shit was like, I just had to mention it.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I heard about Chris Jones.
Yeah, he's didn't go to the mandatory camp because, I mean, if you think about it, one thing that we should mention is Frank Clark just got signed to the Broncos.
I think we mentioned that last week.
But
Yeah, we did.
he was like, he had a whole tirade on social media advocating to bring him back to the Chiefs. So like, I think he took that a little bit personally, the fact that they couldn't work it out and get him back. And on top of that, he was like, kind of due for his next extension. And in
You're talking
lieu,
about Chris Jones or Frank Clark?
Chris Jones.
Okay.
So Chris Jones, in lieu of Frank Clark not being re-signed and everything, I think is a little bit butthurt, and I think he's wanting to get his contract negotiated. I said before that I don't think Chris Jones plays one snap of football without that extension this approaching season. If
shouldn't.
not, he's going to get it like week 3. Reason being is because they could be like kind of negotiating with the anticipated cap expansion and everything like that, and it might be within their best interest to have that contract signed at a later date. And I feel like that's what it is. But let's face it,
I don't think it matters.
he wants to
It's
be
just an extension.
He wants to be the highest paid dude in the league at his position, with the exception of Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
He said, I think he's better than him now. Now, not historically. He had the best defensive end season last year in the league. He had 15 and a half sacks.
Rams were trash last year.
Regardless,
But when you're on a competing team, you're going to play harder than if
that's
you're on a trash
that's
team.
fair. But if we're just talking like performance going. Again, I'm not saying he's better than him outright. He just performed better than him last season.
Oh, I thought you said he was better than him.
No, I said he played better than him.
Oh, okay.
So he wants to be paid. It's his second season. He's done 15 and a half sacks, tying it. And he had huge, crucial sacks in the AFC Championship game. Last play of the AFC Championship game, he sat Joe Burrow on his butt. You know what I'm saying? So we don't win without him. He's the anchor on our defense. He's our defensive MVP. It's not even close.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that the GM was like, that's on our list of things to do. And I was like, damn, bro. Like, you got to say it like that. Just be like, yeah, we're trying to get it done. Be like, it's on the list. We'll get to it when we get to it. I was like, bro, what the fuck?
Brett Veach is a wizard. Just let that man cook.
I mean, I just don't like his comment. If I'm Chris Jones, I'm like, bro, I'm on the list. Like, I better be on the fucking top. Like, what? Like, I don't know. I was just surprised that was his comments.
True.
Just a weird way to say it.
Exactly. Be like, yeah, we're working on it. That's all you got to say. But, yeah, I saw that. You guys definitely need him. I think you guys will still be fine, but when it comes to playoffs, you guys will need him for sure. Regular season, I think you guys would do fine without him. You guys would still make the playoffs for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Pat's going to put up 28 points a game. That's his career average.
Yeah.
And the key to beating us is doing that. It's very seldom do we get shut down. Got shut down in the Super Bowl because both of our starting tackles were hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just implied he's going to get his.
Yeah. Yep.
We signed Rashee Rice. Let's go.
Nice. Yeah, it's a rookie.
Yep, rookie wide receiver. All the camps have been reporting. Justin Ross has been participating, which is huge because he's the injury, darling of the undrafted free agent we got last season, and we IR'd him so he could get, an ankle surgery. It's always been questioned whether or not he makes the team. We're so stacked at receiver in the sense of the amount of receivers we have because we're going to whittle them down. You know what I'm saying? When the week starts, or week one starts, we're going to have Kadarius Toney's going to be one. Two might still be MVS, probably. And this is no implication of where they're going to line up. I'm just saying this is the assumed receiving leaders for the Chiefs. So Kadarius Toney, MVS. After him, they've been claiming that they're going to try to integrate Sky Moore. Kelsey is implied he's the number one guy. That I'm just not referring to him. Outside of that, we got Justin Watson coming back. I think that white receiver that was a Bucs practice squad player. There's not too many other question marks that I have as far as who we're gonna have. We just have 10 bodies to whittle down to 6.
Got you. Nice. All right. Any other NFL stuff?
Not that I know of.
I saw that Jacksonville is going to be allegedly renovating their stadium on a large scale, and there was a rumor that it could take more than a season because they might just rebuild the stadium or something to that extent. And there's interim stadium that they've asked the local whoever for is they have a NASCAR track or some shit in Jacksonville, so they might build a faux stadium on that while they build their new stadium.
That's Florida as fuck.
That's a Florida ass thing to do right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be kind of shitty though because there's no way that seats the same amount of people.
Yeah, it's gonna be lame for the Jags.
Yeah.
But could you?
That'd be hilarious though.
They would have to extend because with the circle, there wouldn't be anyone on that. They would just have the field in the middle where normally people are tailgating for NASCAR and shit, and then you would have to extend some semi bleachers all the way to the field. There's no way you can get around it.
What if the other team's fans buy out the stadium?
Right.
I don't even
because there's only a limited amount, so they get to it first.
Yeah, that's what happened with the Chargers when they relocated.
They went to that soccer stadium
for
2 years. It was a college soccer stadium. It only seated 25,000 people.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's
not good.
For money's sake, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't have any other NFL news. I saw Deion Sanders, who's been having these ongoing medical complications, and he's had skin grafts and all kinds of shit.
He's gonna lose his foot or something.
He allegedly
Might lose his
could.
foot.
Yeah,
Might.
that's not gonna affect his coaching ability
What
as far
happened?
as he's had this. He has some type of disease that's
He has blood clots in his foot.
So you don't see his legs ever because he's got mad scarring from surgeries and shit.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
So he's already lost 2 toes.
Oh man.
Yeah, and he's like,
my man's down 2 toes.
Yeah, and he's like, I might lose some more, and the doctor's like, you might lose your leg, and he's like, fuck.
Damn.
Yeah.
Bro, what kind of disease is that?
I forgot what it is, but regardless, that's tough to hear because let's face it, if he has to get his foot amputated, the recovery from that might not put him eligible to be coaching with any type of real intensity for this entire approaching season.
I think it'll be okay.
1 foot Deion Sanders is going to be a great coach.
Oh, if he's there, he's a great
So
coach.
this is all I got.
He's I'm hopping around now.
Yeah. Hopefully the CU is good. We'll see. I'm excited
That's
for
crazy.
that.
I didn't
season
even
this
know
year.
that. That's wild.
Yeah.
Damn.
Crazy. You can be a top athlete and still have health issues.
Yeah.
Shit's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, not quite NFL news, I suppose,
Yeah,
but football news.
Yeah, that was a good topic. Especially it's Colorado.
Let me see. I have some Instagram random things.
Because we have Bellator and shit like that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll go over the UFC card and Bellator, and I think PFL already went down.
PFL's happening as we speak.
I
So
thought
we
it
talked
happened
about.
yesterday.
I believe it's happening right now.
Mm.
So if I'm not mistaken, we talked about the Browns changing their logo. They did commit to one of them. So
They did.
that's them.
Yeah.
They
So
did. What'd I say? I told you.
Well, so that's not the official logo. That's the official dog logo.
That's pretty fire.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So
I
they
like
won't use those on game day. That'll just be like a.
They're still gonna use the stupid little helmets.
Yeah, that's the alternative logo. That's the dog specific logo.
I'm disappointed. Why even pick one?
Yeah.
They wanted the fans to be involved.
Other than that,
That one's cool though. That was the cooler one, I think.
Yeah.
It was
That
like
one's
less cartoony.
I'm trying to see. I don't really know of much other sports news to be noted.
Hmm.
Other than MMA, so why don't we hit that soundbite?
Hit the soundbite, Deryk.
Now it's time to talk MMA.
Oh yeah,
Let's start with this UFC card.
UFC 289.
Let's start with this MMA card.
UFC 289. We kind of said it last week. It didn't really pull your hair back as far as star power.
It wasn't crazy.
It was, dare I say, it was better than I anticipated because I had such low expectations.
Facts. Let's start with these prelims. Run through them real fast. We had Kyle Nelson winning a decision over Blake Builder. Sorry, Matt. Oh, dang it. And then we have Ayman Zahabi knocking out Queeling Ori.
Shout out Faraz Sahabi's brother.
And then we have Yasmin Yasadavius beating Miranda Maverick by decision. Then we had a no contest draw between Chris Curtis and Nasruddin Imavov. We didn't really expect that.
So what had happened was if I'm not mistaken, homie got like poked in the eye real bad, and it was incidental. And when it happened, it like tore a cut that like Chris Curtis was bleeding from his face like real bad. Like, and it wouldn't stop. Like they gave him a towel, he like bloodied the towel up, and then he walked up to the ref and started wiping his shit on the ref's sleeve because that's how bad the blood was. And he was very persistent because one of his last fights ended this exact same way. So he's like, "Yo, please, like let me. I'm ready to go. I'm good to go." But the doctor, because it was bleeding into his eye, affecting his vision, it's compromised. They stopped the fight. It was terrible. I feel so bad for him.
Wow. Let's move on to this main card.
Yeah, sorry.
That's a crappy way to end the feature prelim.
Yeah.
Like, what a way to end the prelims. Let's talk about Marc-Andre Barriot taking out Eric Anders in a decision win. Right after that, we had Dan Ige get a decision win over Leighton Landwehr. I think we kind of called that last week.
No, I think
we said Dan Ige by decision or Landwehr if he can like knock him out.
But I want to say we parlayed that fight not going the distance.
Oh, really?
If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, man. That was probably my leg.
I think so.
Well, I'm a loser. Let's talk about Mike Malott, who isn't a loser.
MVP of the card.
MVP of the card, winning a submission in the second round over Adam Fugit.
So,
Winston Fuggett lost. Adam Fuggett lost.
should have bet on the mallet.
Yeah.
I bet on Builder.
He did pick Builder over he was deciding between the two.
True. Well,
Yeah.
the reason I mention it is because he was the last Canadian fighter to fight on the card, and then he won. So Canada went 6-0 on this card. It's been a while since and it's in Vancouver. The first time they've been in Vancouver in a minute.
Good for them.
He had such a huge crowd pop when he came in. And one thing that it was hilarious that I noticed live that they didn't mention, as soon as he went to walk out, because you stand there in this little tunnel and then your music plays and you walk out for the cameras, all the fans, because he's in Vancouver, hometown guy or whatever, they were on the railing, super excited to see him. The railing collapsed, and like 25 people tumbled over, even landing on him.
Almost landed on him, dude.
Yeah.
He barely got out of the way.
But you can watch the footage
Barely.
on Twitter when it happens. As soon as these people fall, homie, because he's in fight mode. He's in go mode. Like, he's ready to go, like, fight a grown-ass man in his underwear in front of, like, 60,000 people or however many's there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The thing falls right next to him, unfazed.
One of his cornermen got hit though.
No one was hurt. No one was sent off in any type of severe injury.
Yeah,
no
no.
one sustained anything. And
His
all the
coach
people
got a Charlie horse though. His coach got
every
hit in the leg,
person
Charlie
that
horse.
every person that fell was reassigned to better seats,
Hell yeah.
allegedly.
That's
So.
better. They
Yeah,
just kick them
that's
out.
the venue.
They
structure.
just kick 'em all
That's
out.
not the UFC's fault. That's that incompetent venue structure. I don't know if this was like
that was some weak structure. or
Now,
something.
I'm pretty sure the UFC put those temporary like railings in those spots
Yeah.
so that you could create the tunnel. But regardless, I just thought it was funny. But
Yeah.
God damn does that man hit
That
hard.
almost messed up the fight. That
It
could
would have
hurt
if
him.
he would have got impacted. Like let's say it bounced off his head. That fight can't happen.
Yeah.
he's been compromised.
UFC would sue that venue 100%.
Absolutely. And
Absolutely.
then those fighters would have to get show pay because they're at the show, and
Oh
that
my
happened.
gosh, that would have been a disaster. That was almost
That
a
would have
disaster.
been the Tony Ferguson thing all over again, but like as it happened. But regardless, Mike Malott, absolute monster. He's definitely
Masterclass.
he's on UFC's radar to get a great next fight. The first fight,
He's Canada's new star. For
the
sure.
first strike of the bout, he threw like a body kick or a spinning heel kick to the body, and like Fugit definitely like winced and was backing up. Like it looked like he was about to end it in the first, but that was his first time, if I'm not mistaken, outside of the first round. I believe he won it in the second, and he's gotten all of his finishes by the first. That was his first second round finish.
10 wins, 10 finishes.
The entire dude, he's chiseled too. That
He's
man
a
is
beast.
crazy. He's got he's really good mic skills. I think he's got like star potential written all over him. And like you said, Canada, you have found your star child.
For real. He's Canada's new superhero, really.
And so like I had to make a big emphasis on that because that was my favorite moment of the whole card.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that because Charles Oliveira got a knockout over Beneil Dariush right after that in the first round. And what did I say last week? Beneil was going to tap him up, touch him. I was wrong. Charles beat his ass pretty
Now,
much the whole fight.
I said-
yes,
I
Charles
want-
came out like a freaking warrior, dude. And Beneil was getting outstruck.
I
like, just the
parlayed,
whole time.
if I'm not mistaken, that fight wouldn't go the distance.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did.
I'm pretty sure that was what I contributed.
That was your leg.
God damn, did I get that one nail in the
4
head.
minutes and 10 seconds, all it took for Mr. Charles Oliveira, winding back the clock. I feel bad for Beneil. 9
So,
in a row.
Well, the thing is
Lost.
it sucks that this happened because Beneil, besides this fight, taking this fight, deserves a title
He
shot.
should have had a title shot like
irrefutably
3 fights ago.
But his level of competition got real strong towards the end of that 9-fight streak, and it got
Charles, man.
so you had to go up against Bronx, who's coming off of his championship loss, who's more determined than ever.
He came out swinging,
But
boy.
the thing that
he was throwing.
I didn't think Beneil Dariush hit harder than like the Michael Chandlers, the Dustin Poiriers, or the Justin Gaethje. So I wasn't worried that Bronx was going to be in like chin drama. You know what I'm saying? I was worried that he was going to accept a punch like he had in all of his like 3 or 4 previous last fights, and he was going to do that like take one to give one technique, and it was going to bite him in the ass because I felt like Beneil Dariush just hits really hard. He doesn't hit harder, but he hits really accurately. And then lo and behold, that we never even got to see that. Like I don't think Dariush really looked like he just didn't own any moment of that fight.
No, dude. He only got 32 strikes landed.
It was such a.
He only had 12 significantly land, and he only threw 59.
It was probably like 6 or 7 seconds.
It happened so fast. We can't.
6 or 7 seconds into that fight, it was like eye test instantly. You were just like, oh, dude, Bronx is him right now.
Yeah.
And like that form of Charles Oliveira, I think takes that title back.
Yeah, I agree.
If he shows up looking like that,
he has to stuff Islam's takedowns, though.
I think, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think the moment against Islam was big. There was such a hype against it, and like it wasn't too big for him because he didn't crumble. He got dropped, and then like it was what it was. I just think that form of him was just so. His striking looked the best I've ever seen
looked
it.
great.
And against a striker, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like that was the most significant moment of the card. I thought the Mike Malott moment was my favorite moment of the card. And when he TKO'd him, you just like it's always vicious when you see a guy's legs like bouncing to the wince of him getting hit while he's unconscious.
Crazy.
It was vicious,
It
bro.
was vicious, dude. I mean, speaking of viciousness, Irene Aldana didn't come with it, huh?
No,
She didn't show up with it. We had Amanda Nunes winning by decision.
The
remaining the most decorated woman fighter in history, laid down the 2 belts and retired gracefully.
Yep, which we kind of saw
Had her
coming.
kid dancing in the cage after. It was a really good scene.
Bro, just to talk about the fight for 1 second, like it was. Amanda did get wobbled once. One clean right hook that Aldana like landed, and then like she didn't follow up at all. And when it hit Amanda, like it catapulted her balance. Like you could tell it didn't hurt her. She wasn't like compromised moving forward.
She was just like, "Oh, I got hit."
She got hit really hard by a girl who trains boxing pretty well. That being said, Aldana has a kind of a track record of never really stepping up in her championship fights.
It's crazy.
She
bro.
won a belt
That's so
back in
crazy.
like the lesser leagues in Mexico, but like once she got to like Invicta, she didn't win the belt. Now that
She lost the fight for the belt.
she lost the fight for the belt for the UFC as well.
Yep.
So like these big
Ugh.
moments kind of like got her. She never really put her foot on the gas pedal and did much. She was just she was a victim of the
It's
moment.
like she was coasting, kind of.
It looked a lot like sparring, but I think that in her mind, that's just the respect that Amanda deserves with her hands.
Amanda's just good, dude.
And Amanda won that fight. Or that
Amanda
fight.
was throwing too. She was throwing. Like,
She was
was
throwing her
trying
to the
to-
ground, not throwing the bag.
yeah.
Amanda won that fight. When they read the scorecards, it was unanimous, obviously, and it was like 50-44, 50-44, in 50-45. That means that there was like
Domination.
10 sevens, 10 nines, 10 eights all throughout that, and that's what it
Domination.
was. And as she retires, the women's 145-pound division is gone. That was the only.
Yeah,
she
that
was
was
the
the only-
the little tiny seed keeping it going, and they were feeding her everyone. They were feeding her Holly Holmes. They fed her Megan Anderson that one time. That
Everybody,
was a
yeah.
mistake. Homegirl
Megan got destroyed.
she retired immediately. Now she's a PFL person, which is awesome. I love when fighters get out of career opportunities. But
I
that's-
like Megan Anderson too.
but that being said, Amanda Nunes is the greatest female fighter of all time, and I don't think that it's going to be a long time. Like, we're going to have to see them come onto the scene at like 20 to have the potential to do what Amanda did. She has like I think 9 UFC belts now.
bro, that's ridiculous, dude.
Irrefutable. It's not even close. Like, there's a lot
Easily
of
one of the most decorated UFC fighters in history.
She
Not
te-
even just women.
So she TKO'd Holly Holmes, and the reason I mention that is because Holly Holmes was a decorated women's championship boxer, turned kickboxing, turned MMA. So she danced with the best of them. MMA just isn't at a point right now where there's enough competition for girls like Amanda to where that's what it looks like. You know, that's kind of what it looked like in the yesteryears for the men's divisions too. You just had these guys that lingered and won because the competition hadn't quite caught up. Ronda Rousey made a career off of that. No offense to her. So like seeing Amanda go scares me for women's MMA in the UFC.
And it made me a little sad seeing her go. I was like, damn, end of an era. I just witnessed the end of an era.
And this
The
is
end
one of those.
like
She walked out with 2 belts.
both of us watched her like debut. I'm pretty
We
sure.
watched her-
Like,
I watched
we
her on
watched her whole career. Me and this guy. Like,
We watched
so
her on The
crazy.
Ultimate Fighter, the season that Juliana Pena won. Like,
Yes,
we've
bro.
seen her. She's. It sucks watching her go.
Crazy.
But to see her go out on her terms, double champ again.
Riding off in the sunset
That's
at the top of the top.
you
That's
could
beast.
you
That's
could
so
argue. I'm serious. Like you could say Khabib maybe, but you could argue that she's had the greatest career in the UFC, and that's not
She
from,
has more defenses than DC, hands down.
she's the
I
only
bet we could count all the champions. She has more defenses than. It's crazy.
The only UFC fighters with more belts than her, just UFC fighters, is Jones and Mighty Mouse. And Jones, yeah, that's it. That's it. She has the most belts out of men, women, or anything, minus those 2.
Is it because though that she was a wolf amongst sheep
Absolutely.
when she first got into? I mean, she really was.
So
when
was
she
Ronda.
So was
Gina
Ronda,
Carano.
Yeah, exactly.
So was Miesha Tate for a very slim window.
A small amount of time.
It's catching up. It just the reason I mention this and I'm emphasizing this scares me is because like the UFC now knows like if the 145-pound division is just gone, which it most certainly probably is, that's the effect, the Amanda Nunes effect. Like they kept a division for this girl.
Yeah.
And then now you're gonna have the 135-pound division, which is like doesn't really have a next star up. It's this next
115 has more stars.
They need an atom weight. That's what I was about to
Yeah.
say. They need an atom weight. This may sound lame. Get rid of Invicta.
See, but honestly, if you add an atom weight, that might like slim out 115 because some of those 115 girls can make 105.
No,
like that.
115
So, like-
is atom weight, and then 125 is
Oh,
atom weight.
120. I got mixed up.
So
I
you're
got
good.
mixed up.
I know exactly what you're implying. It's gonna thin out
What's 105? What's that called? That's
That's not an organized weight that I'm
like
I'm familiar
molecule
with.
weight, boy.
I don't even know.
Weight.
I don't know, but like
It's probably not a weight at all. I don't
UFC
know what I'm thinking.
the UFC can look over.
115, 125, 135.
Yeah, it's
145.
everything's the
That's
same
it.
from women
Yeah,
and men,
yeah.
but 115 is atom weight. So like the 135-pound belt, the next person who fights for that, we're gonna know, and we're probably going to assume for the next like couple of years that person is just. It's like when Jones left 205. The guys who were fighting for his belts was the guys Jones had already beat. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You have DC, Gus. Like great fight. DC's the man. Love him to death.
Beat his ass.
But we know
DC
that
beat his ass.
we know Jones beat both of them twice. You know, or went to beat both of them twice. Whatever. So it was like this is going to have the same effect. And as fans acknowledging that, pay-per-views are going to suffer. There's no this was already a little bit questionable to have only one belt contested on this card, and it was a women's belt, just because of the state of the pay-per-view dynamic. They're trying to get eyes on these. That's not a slap in the face to women's MMA to say that they're not a pull at the moment, but Amanda was the pull. This is gone. You know,
It's gone.
So what is the UFC's motivation to keep women's belts around if they're just gonna make even less money? You know, and that scares me because the women deserve to be there. They put on some of the greatest fights in the UFC.
They put on crazy.
But when you
especially
lose,
like Weili Zhang and stuff.
that's what I'm saying. Like those are
she deserves to get paid.
the 125-pound division is stacked and
Stacked up.
thriving.
Stacked up.
135, it's like who's gonna fight next? Is it gonna be Holly Holmes, Miesha Tate for you know what I'm saying?
Same thing though. Like bringing it back. Like if they do bring an atom weight in, a lot of those 125 girls are going down.
Yeah,
And it slims out the division more.
it is what it is. But I mean, I guess let's not get too caught up in it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I looking at the
Who
clock,
knows what's gonna happen? It's crazy, bro.
looking at the clock. We still got this Bellator to run through real quick.
Yeah,
but
and to put a pin in it, I think the only female fighter that'll even give Amanda a run for her money at all is probably like Weili Zhang.
you want to know who?
She's so dominant.
You want to know who's the next? Honestly, I just realized this foolishly. The next prospect for women's UFC, who I think has the best position right now, Tatiana Suarez. She's had champion written all over her, and right now
She can't get in the ring though. She
just
barely
fought.
Fights.
She barely-
I know, but like, when's her next one?
I
Like,
said I'm not. I
is it
said
gonna be another
prospect. I
year?
said
Yeah.
prospect.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
She's don't. I'm not saying.
I don't even know if you could say prospect. She's been there, done that for a long.
She just had mad injuries that prevented her from doing her thing. She stays winning.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. She hasn't lost.
So
You're right.
she's next in my opinion. Now next for a belt, no, just the next marketable
Mackenzie Dern
asset.
can be next up too.
I love Mackenzie Dern,
Yeah, Mackenzie Dern could be next up too. She's getting wins and wins and wins.
but
They're saying, I mean, I don't know. We could go on that for forever. Let's talk about these upcoming cards since we're on the.
so Bellator's happening right now technically.
Okay, so let's start with that. Let's start with that.
So the main card doesn't start until 7 p.m. So in an hour. So
let's just run over the main card.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah.
There's some familiar faces on the undercard, but nothing worth really mentioning. On the main card, do you have it pulled up?
No, I can though.
Let's do it.
I got you.
I got it pulled up, I think.
Go ahead and start talking about the first fight, Mr. Winston. Who are the first fighters and what are their money lines?
Daniel James and I don't know the other guy's first name, but it's Siricom.
So we have Siricom as the favorite, minus 120. Daniel James at minus 102.
Gotcha. Don't know either of those gentlemen.
Daniel James is the 4th ranked heavyweight in Bellator. He's coming off of a TKO win on his last bout. He's got a lot of momentum, and he's fighting in his hometown of Chicago. I think that's not an unfavorable enough difference to like say not to bet on him. And heavyweights under 15. That's kind of like a assumption, aka under 3 rounds.
So I have it pulled up. I don't know where we're starting though. I know we just
There's only 4 fights, or
For the main card.
the main card only has 4.
Starting at
Oh
7.
yeah, you were talking about Gokam Sorry Cam, right?
Yeah, Saricom. He's the 10th ranked. Daniel James is the 4th ranked. If Daniel James wins this, they pretty much kind of alluded that he's going to fight Ryan Bader for the heavyweight strap.
Good shit. Right after that, we have 205 pounders. Corey Anderson is back facing Phil Davis. We know both of those names.
Both UFC, they both were in the UFC. Both had really decent runs in the UFC. Never quite put it together once they got to the top end. Both, Phil Davis, I believe, was Bellator champion, if I'm not mistaken. So he's definitely made good time of his Bellator tenure.
I think Corey Anderson was champion too.
He
came up
lost. So-
oh no, it was a title
so-
fight.
so
Yeah, it was a title fight. You're
Corey Anderson versus Vadim
just came
Nemkov
up.
versus that was the Grand Prix heavyweight.
right. It was a decision loss too, wasn't it?
Yeah, so what had originally happened is they did the light heavyweight Grand Prix, and Corey Anderson even TKO'd Ryan Bader because Ryan Bader was the former double champ and then wanted to try to go get his light heavyweight strap back. So Corey Anderson goes on this meteoric run as soon as he gets in Bellator, wins his first fight, goes to the Grand Prix finals against the standing champ Vadim Nemkov. One thing I want to mention is Vadim Nemkov was supposed to fight Anthony Rumble Johnson, and then Anthony Rumble Johnson's medical things, and then ultimately passed away, so that's very sad. But Vadim Nemkov versus him, there was an accidental headbutt in a ground exchange when Nemkov was getting his ass whooped. Corey Anderson was whooping this man easily, could have been 10-8 the first round. The headbutt happens. They circumstantially stop the fight. They reschedule it. And then Nemkov wins the 25-minute decision decisively.
Yeah,
It wasn't an accident.
He kind of, he dominated that second fight.
Corey Anderson's coming off of 25 minutes with a champ who couldn't get him out of there and 6 minutes of whooping the champ's ass. and this is his first. I'm not gonna call him a victim because like they're all equal competent competitors, but this is huge. If he wins this, he's basically right there lingering for the
Right
next title
there
shot
again.
again.
Phil Davis is coming off of a loss too, I think, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not as I
I'll
couldn't
look
tell
it
you the
up right
last
now.
time Phil
I'll look it
Davis
up.
fought because he's not as he doesn't fight as frequently as of recent.
I got you. I'm gonna go on Tapology right now.
One thing to be noted
if
is
I can find
Phil
it.
Davis was like a 4-time All-American and D1 college wrestler. I'm pretty sure he won the Natty.
Oh, yeah.
Did a bunch of crazy things. His resume in wrestling is outstanding. Corey Anderson, he was like a 1-time All-American. He didn't quite get over the hump in college wrestling, so there's a lot of wrestling comparison that they've been throwing jabs at in the media, which is fun. I don't think either of these dudes are going to wrestle each other. I think when you get two wrestlers, they strike. That's just kind of what we've gotten accustomed to.
Let's talk about Mr. Phil Davis's
His
record.
last.
So we're gonna go a little bit farther back to 2019. Beat Liam McGreary. He beat Carl Albexin. He beat Lyoto Machida by decision split. And then he lost to Vadim Nemkov via unanimous decision.
Well,
Right after that, we had Yoel Romero. He beat Yoel Romero by a split decision and then beat Julius Angiklis by decision. Now he's fighting Corey Anderson. Coming off of 2 wins. He's coming off of 5 wins in his last 6.
that guy that you named,
really good.
his name was Anglikis or whatever. He was an alternate in the tournament. He was like a really heavy hitter. He was a badass too. So that's not a chump to get a win over.
Phil Davis is doing the damn thing, dude.
I mean,
What a beast, Mr. Wonderful.
This is
What are the odds, Winston?
yes.
Corey Anderson is the favorite. He's at minus 188. Phil Davis at plus 152.
I'm a little surprised.
This one I honestly think could go the distance because of the way they fight.
Yeah, I see
But
Corey winning.
To go the distance is minus 430. To go the distance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to
which
predict
wild.
that.
Yeah, what's Corey Anderson to win by decision? What odd is that?
Minus 120.
Yeah, definitely the favorite odd. Let's talk about Sergio Pettis taking on Patricio Pitbull.
So
Pitbull's going down in weight to take on the 135 champ.
so everyone
He looks slim. Have
he
you
does.
seen him?
Yeah. So we got to
Oh.
give a little bit of backtrack so people can understand the significance of this fight, as well as the kind of question mark that this is a huge fight. This is one of the biggest fights in Bellator's history because of the significance of the moment for Pitbull specifically.
I mean, Sergio's been champion for a long time. Too.
Sergio hasn't fought in 18 months because he's been coming off that
that's why he's
injury.
been okay.
So originally, so Pitbull, we got to explain Pitbull. Pitbull has been the poster child of Bellator his entire tenure there. He is hands down their biggest fighter in terms of significance. Pitbull irrefutably could walk into the UFC and challenge for a title. I'm not saying he would win, but I think he's good enough to get there. Now, that being said, Pitbull was their 145-pound champ, and then he lost the belt to AJ McKee via stoppage. It was pretty quick. And then he redeemed himself in a decision win against AJ McKee. Before doing that, he went up in weight to 155 and challenged Michael Chandler, who was the then standing Bellator 155-pound champ. Knocked him out, which was, I didn't see that coming. So then he was the double champ, first double champ in Bellator history, simultaneous. He then relinquished his 155-pound belt, allowed his brother to fight for it, who ultimately won it for a short skid, which is cool. So then he never lost the 155-pound belt. Still the reigning 145-pound champ. He's defended it twice. And then now he's going down to 135. So if he claims the 135-pound belt, he will, for all intents and purposes, be a triple champ.
Triple champ.
Because he vacated his other belt on his terms. No one beat him for that belt. He didn't defend it, but no one beat him. So no one's ever done that. We've had
That's
a lot of
first
double
for
champs,
everything, yeah.
and this is a major MMA organization. If you said you're the triple champ of Cage Warriors, I'm gonna be like, what's that to you?
He looks slim, bro. It's crazy to see him that slim.
Well, yeah,
He was already fit as fuck.
there's no way. There's 0% chance that this was an easy weight cut. But he did say that coming off of his last fight, because Pitbull fought on that Japanese card around New Year's and he won. I think he's fought since then actually, but he said
he had one fight.
He said coming off of his last fight I think it was against Peter Queally. He said he never he stayed in fight shape. He said he stayed on his diet. He stayed everything. And so that when it approached this one, it was all natural. He wasn't cutting all his weight at the last second. So at the press conference on Monday, he said he weighed 141 or something like that.
That's easy cuts after that.
Yeah, he's only going to cut a couple more
Chill
pounds.
in the
So
bathtub.
he did it the smart way. Is his health and or jaw potentially compromised? We're going to have to find out. But if Pitbull wins this is this is the biggest non-UFC champion possibly ever. Like seriously, like name another dude who is a triple champ in their organized organization who we could contest, could go to the UFC and do big things and then do that. That's insane. Like that is unparalleled. No one has ever done that. And Bellator is the number 2 MMA organization in North America. So this is not like if it was in ONE UFC, that would still be equally insane, but like less insane than the fact that it's Bellator. If it was in PFL, I wouldn't pay it to mind because those dudes fight each other many times in a row. So it is what it is. This is huge. And then you have Sergio Pettis. We got to explain the significance of his moment. He's going to be fighting upset. Why? He was in the Bellator Grand Prix that Patchy Mix just won. Patchy Mix a couple of weeks ago or months ago, he knocked out Rafion Stotts. We all saw that. We all talked about that.
That was a nasty one.
That was insane. So Patchy Mix is the interim champ. Pitbull was not involved in the bracket at all. So you're asking why is he getting the first crack at the title against Sergio coming off of his injury? It's because he's Pitbull. It's because what he's done. He is not necessarily Conor McGregor as far as needle movers, but he is their Conor McGregor for that intensive purpose. So he's getting this crack at him, and it's not Patchy Mix. And then you have Sergio Pettis, who just missed $1 million fight opportunity. Because if he would have won that tournament, the fight purse winner of that gets $1 million. He's going to be fighting like you owe me $1 million. He's going to be fighting against a dude who's going to be compromising his weight, but is a actually naturally bigger man. Like I'm honestly shocked this isn't the main event. This is kind of almost offensive to Pitbull, if you ask me. They just don't want the little guy.
Nemkov's the bigger champion, is why.
He's a bigger guy. He's a bigger pole. But this is the way. This is so huge for Bellator because Bellator after tonight will have.
My thing is like it's harder to push a big champion that's going down to 135. Like it's just way smaller of a weight class, especially when we have a 205 champion to be crowned with Yoel Romero.
You're right.
Yoel Romero is the biggest star on this whole card. Like,
you're
talking.
Yeah,
like,
it's needle movers and eyeballs and MMA purism.
I see why they did it. I wouldn't have fret at all though if they did put Patricio at the top, like with Pettis main card. I think they just did it, but out of like Yoel is bigger. Bigger weight.
It's what you're supposed to do.
Nemkov is a beast. Like they're like, all right, let's just.
Scott Coker said at the press conference, he said like I consider these co-main events, and I couldn't agree.
Yeah,
more.
they're like it's like a double headliner, pretty much.
Yeah, you have the MMA purist main event in the Sergio versus Pitbull, and then you have the main event just that should have all eyeballs on it.
Yeah, Corey Anderson, Phil Davis is the real co-main. Both of these other ones are headline. Like
yeah, clearly. And dude, give it to Bellator. I've been like piping them up for weeks and months, talking about how like it's hard to challenge the UFC because of the marketing giant that they are.
I hope Romero wins the title. I think it'd be cool.
I kind of do too because he hasn't gotten a belt yet.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten a belt yet. Dude is old as shit.
46,
I think.
Regardless, he's too old.
I'm pretty sure he's 46. Let me double check. Yoel Romero age, and he's built out of steel. 46 years old.
Yeah,
40. You think that guy's 46?
No,
he's built. Dude, he's built out of steel. Like he's
the Cuban fucking growth experiment.
Yeah, he is because they think he's a science experiment because the tendons in his eyes are 3 times the bigger than any other humans.
So that doesn't give enough context. He's like he broke his orbital bone in his his skull.
Tell him this.
And then he went to the doctor to have it like looked at, and the doctors were like immediately they asked his manager and like all his whoever, they're like, "Where did you get him?" They're like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "No, where did you get him?" They're like, "What's going on?" They said the size of the tendons on the muscles of his eyes are 3 times the size of anyone I've ever seen in 30 plus years of being a doctor. And on top of that, it's healing naturally. There's nothing we can do for him. His broken orbital
healing himself.
This dude's like he started MMA when he was like 36. He was in his 40s when this happened.
That's crazy.
You got a guy in his 40s who breaks his orbital and it heals with no medical intervention necessary.
Dude, he's an alien, bro.
He used to wrestle for Cuba in the Olympics, and when you're there where there's no money and like no enterprise, he lived a lavish life where they just fed him growth hormone and fucking made him wrestle
everything
for his entire life. So he's just a physical freak.
He's a freak, dude.
It's insane.
And he's at 46. He's fighting for a championship at 46 years old.
And not only fighting for a championship at 46, he's fighting for a championship at 46 that we all think and hope he will win.
And Nemkov is looking at him like, fuck, this is going to be a hard fight. And anybody who fights Yoel Romero is like, fuck. Like, he's just a fucking handful.
If Izzy, even though that fight was boring as shit, if Izzy can't take Yoel Romero's head off, if Bobby Knuckles can't take Yoel Romero's head
No
off,
one's got him out of there.
Vadim Nemkov ain't taking his head
Yeah,
off. He's gonna
no.
try. He could kick it, but I don't like.
I
Has
think
Yoel
Yoel's too good.
fought?
We'll
yeah.
never see him go out, I don't think.
Yoel is
Knock on wood.
the underdog. He's
Yeah, for sure.
As
He's
is-
going to be.
I
Because
assume.
Nemkov is
390.
just... Nemkov is like that type where he might just grind him out, too. Like, Nemkov can grind out Yoel and make it
wanna
a
know-
boring fight.
He's plus 390. That's pretty.
You wanna know
significant.
That's
Nemkov-
very significant. Holy shit, that's kind of disrespectful to Yoel.
You want to know who Nemkov's significant last loss was? I can tell you where
Who?
it happened. It was in Ryzen.
Oh, really? He got knocked out?
He got beat. I don't think he got knocked out.
Okay, here, I'll pull him up.
Yuri Polhuska.
Oh,
He's lost to Yuri.
guess who's coming back?
Oh yeah,
Guess they're slating Jamal Hill and Yuri.
that'll be bananas.
That's going to be freaking... Dude.
So, we've made all this emphasis on this Bellator card. There is a UFC card that we don't even need to talk
No,
about.
well, no, I want to go over it. There's some big fighters on there. Let me pull up the Tapology.
It's Marvin Vettori versus Jared Cannonier.
No, I'm talking about Vadim Nemkov still.
Oh, sorry.
So he has a wow. Oh my God! Looking at Vadim Nemkov, he has not lost since 2016.
And it was probably Yuri.
No. It was Carl Albergston.
Not even familiar.
So he lost to Yuri, via retirement. Lost retirement. 10 minutes first round. And then Carl Albrechtsson beat him in a decision split. Then he hasn't lost since. So he beat McCollage Rosanowski. He beat Alison Vicente, Philip Lins, Liam McGeary, Phil Davis, Rafael Carvalho. Had a canceled bout against Ryan Bader. Beat Ryan Bader via head kick and punches. Beat Phil Davis via decision. Like you brought it up. Anthony Johnson, canceled bout. RIP.
Rest in Paradise King.
We had a win against Julius Aldricus.
Aldricus. Or Andricus.
And yeah, it's like Angelicus.
An-
There's no R. So,
Oh.
yeah.
It's something like that.
Then he had a no contest against Corey Anderson, accidental clash of heads, and the decision win over Corey Anderson. That's so crazy. What a run.
Yeah.
What a run. 2 wins over Phil Davis, a very nice decision against, or a very nice finish against Ryan Bader.
He's on like a 7-year run.
Dude's crazy. All right, moving on to the UFC card that we were bringing up. Let's go to that. I'm going to run through these prelim. Oh, well, let's see. Let's see who's on prelims. I kind of want to run through the prelims just so Winston has some names. We got the first prelim. We got light heavyweight fight, Zach Pwaga taking on Modestas Bukauskas. Right after that, we have bantamweight Dan. And actually, we'll do this quick. Throw out the odds.
Modestas, we got minus 190. Zach, we got plus 160.
Dan Argueta in the bantamweight decision taking on Ronnie Lawrence.
Ronnie's at minus 190. Dan at plus 160.
We got Teresa Bleda in the women's flyweight division taking on Gabriela Fernandez.
Teresa is the favorite, minus 250.
Okay,
And then
that's a
Gabriela
nice one.
plus 198.
We got Carlos Hernandez 8-2 in the flyweight division taking on Denise Bonder 16-4.
Denise minus 122. Carlos plus 100.
Oh, that's a pick 'em. That's not bad at all. Kang Koing Ho. Oh, I'm having a problem with that one. So we got Kang Kwang Ho. That was better.
Okay,
Taking on Christian Quinones.
We got Christian at minus 148, and then we got Ho Kang at plus 120.
Nice. Jimmy Flick taking on Alessandro Costa
Costa
in the flyweight.
minus 290. Jimmy at plus 225.
That is your feature prelim. We got Jimmy Flick 16-6, and then Mr. 12-3 Alessandro Costa. Let's talk about our main card right here. We have the welterweight Nicholas Dobby kicking off the card with Muslim Salikov. Salikov's coming off of a knockout win, I believe. Nicholas Dobby 21-4, Muslim 19-3 in the welterweight division. What are we looking like, Mr. Win?
Muslim, we got minus 188, and then Nicholas, we got plus 152.
Wow. I kind of agree with Muslim. Muslim's coming off that nice win. 39 years old, taking on 38-year-old Nicholas Dalby. Dang. We're a step away from a 40-year-old fight, huh?
Crazy.
We got 4.5 inch reach advantage on Nicholas Dalby, though.
Damn.
That is a lot of inch reach advantage. So we might see Mr. Nicholas Dalby picking him from the outside. Let's talk about this lightweight bout. Manuel Torres taking on Nicholas Mota. What are those odds, bro? Lightweight.
Manuel, we got minus 188. Nicholas, we got plus 152.
Don't know either of these guys. But, we'll see what happens with that one. Featherweight bout. Pat Sabatini, know this guy, taking on Lucas Almeida. Know that guy, too. 14-1 Almeida. Looking great. What are those odds?
Pat, we got minus 200. Lucas, we got plus 160.
Wow. And he only has one loss. Let's talk about Armin Petrosian taking on Christian Leroy Duncan. And Christian Leroy Duncan making a name for himself lately. 8-0. Taking on Armin Petrosian. This is not going to be an easy fight, to be honest.
We got Leroy sitting at a minus 154. And we got Armin sitting at plus 126.
I'd pick up Christian. I would pick up Christian Leroy Duncan to take the win over Armin Petrosian. Right after that, we got Armin Sarukian taking on Joaquim Silva.
These are crazy odds. Anyone want to...
Lightweight, co-main. We got Armin. I guarantee Armin Sarukian is like a minus 800 over Joaquim Silva.
Armin is a minus 1,250.
Oh my
Damn.
gosh. Why so
Yes.
much? Sarukian, wow, dude. I mean, he's coming off of wins, but that's a crazy odd.
Crazy. To not go the distance is minus 460.
Is it Armin Sarukian by submission? The best odd? Or is it knockout?
KO or TKO.
Ah,
Submissions plus
he's gonna knock him
330. KO TKO is minus 125.
19-3. Wow. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. I would tell you to pick up Armin, but you might as well just pick him up via finish.
Yeah.
Pick him up a double chance inside the distance. Let's talk about Marvin Vettori. This is the main event. Marvin Vettori taking on Jared Cannonier. So like Dave said, not the deepest card, but there's some pretty good names on here. I'm looking forward to that fight. Marvin Vettori, Jared Cannonier. I will say I think Marvin Vettori is going to do what Marvin Vettori does and win a decision.
Yeah.
But we could see Jared Cannonier knock his ass out. Who's the favorite?
Marvin is the favorite.
Yeah.
No surprise.
Minus 128, though, so it's very close.
Wow. I would like to pick up Cannonier via knockout. What's that odd?
We got Jared at a plus 104. To go the distance is minus 184. Cannonier winning by KO is plus 300.
Vettori by
Vettori
decision.
winning by decision is plus 130.
Oh, yeah.
So
wow. I see Vettori doing it. I really see Vettori winning the decision. I don't see how Jared can get in there and do what all these other guys
He has
have
to
done
win by
Marvin
finish.
to beat him. Yeah, like you got to finish to Marvin Vettori. Marvin's going to pick you apart.
And yeah,
And then he's going to take you down. And dude. I mean, Jared isn't the best on the ground either. He's more of a striker.
Mhm.
So I see Marvin kind of just might be a snooze fest for this main event. Grinding him out. Marvin's going to grind him out. And if finish presents himself, then Marvin will go for it. But you're not going to see Marvin swinging for the fences trying to take out Jared.
nobody's gonna be
Unless
throwing
something-
sharp punches. He's been
So dude. Yeah, he
took off-
He honestly might take out Jared.
he trained like
Via
Thai
KO.
boxing. Like
yeah, he might
he's
take him out.
he's a way more competent striker
You know
than
what?
he used
I
to
see
be.
Marvin Vettori landing a lot of leg kicks this fight too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he might decapacitate Jared. We could see a TKO via what's a stoppage via strikes for Mr. Marvin Vettori.
plus 1,100.
Ooh.
Okay, they don't think that's happening.
Yeah. But
Well,
they didn't
you
think
never
the
know.
Nuggets were going to win the NBA championship.
Yeah,
and they
let's
fucking
go.
did. And
Yeah,
I
they
won
did.
$300 because of that shit.
And we're about to make more. What is your parlay piece, dude? Are you you have no basketball?
I don't
to
have
bet on,
any
dude.
basketball.
So we're gonna have to help you out with a fight pick. We're gonna have to help him out with a
Well,
fight pick.
while you guys are
I think we should just do a UFC since Bellator's already going on. Like we shouldn't.
I mean, we could still sprinkle one in. I was considering it.
I hate making a parlay bet that no one's gonna be able to do
True.
because it's literally in a fucking hour.
I'm
Like,
going to take Modestius Bukakis.
oh, he's taking off. Dang, yo, my man. He's putting it all on the line on the first fight of the card.
He only went for that guy because his name sounds like Bukaki.
Exactly. That's why I went for him.
Bukaki, Japanese for splashing.
Oh my god, dude. Yo, why are you picking up Modestus?
Because his name is cool.
What's the odd? What is the
Winston
odd?
participates in Bukakis, clearly.
Minus 190.
Okay, hey,
Yeah.
minus 190 is not the
Yeah,
craziest
it's
to
not
put on
that
a
bad.
parlay. It's not the craziest, but we I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna pick that up with you. All right, so we're picking up Modestus Bukaki via moneyline, correct?
Yes. I wanted to pick up Jimmy Flick, but he's the underdog plus 225. So
Ooh,
yeah.
you might not want to do that, dude. I mean, Zach Pauga only lost once. Modestus lost 5 times already, bro.
He'll be all right.
Yeah, he's going to be good. I hate this little, you haven't logged into your app in a long time, so now you got to send an authentic code or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I have Face ID, so it just does that.
All right, let's go to MMA All Sports. We're taking Mr. Modestus.
Yep.
Minus 190. Good pickup. All right, what are you thinking, Dave? What do you got your mind on? Should I go before you? What are you thinking, bro?
I am not sure because I was really betting on using Bellator.
Dude, I feel you. I gotta honestly look too, to be honest. I might pick up Armin Sarukian, dude, minus 1250. Oh man. Honestly might pick. Oh, I don't want to get too risky with it.
You could pick that fight to not go the distance. Armin Sarukian.
And
That's minus 460.
Ooh. That's actually not terrible. It's a terrible pickup if you're only betting it, but parlaying that might be really nice. Because you already had a minus 190, so that kind of works in favor.
Yeah.
I like that.
Do you
Let's
guys think
that.
Bukaki is going to win?
Only because we're calling him that, yeah. Literally. All right, so I'm going to pick up Armin Sarukian, Joaquim Silva, not going the distance. That gives us a minus 117 parlay right now.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good, dude.
For
For 2 legs.
And one of them being minus
And one
460.
of them being a minus 460.
Yeah, that's wild.
Mr. Dave, what are we thinking here? We should help
I have
out Dave.
no
Let's
idea.
help out Dave a little bit.
I didn't even look this card up beforehand.
All right. I mean, we could straight up. I don't know if you.
How about this? This is a throwing a dart at a wall.
Ooh, I like it.
Kang versus Quinones, not going the distance.
Ooh, is that flyweight?
I have no idea.
Let's see. I'm gonna look it up right now. That's bantamweight. What's the odd on that?
To not go the distance is plus 128.
Is that bad?
Yeah, it's bad.
It's
I don't know if you
underdog.
wanna do that. Yeah,
It could still happen.
it
but
could
it's
still
just
happen.
less
It really
likely.
can. It's a fight, bro. Someone can go out anytime.
What about Dalby
keep
versus
looking.
Salikov not going the distance?
Ooh,
The older guys.
That's pretty good. 'Cause Solikov is like a kill or be killed kind of guy, I think. Let's see. Method of victory. Oh wait, no, wrong thing. Will it go the distance? I mean, they think it's going to go the distance at minus 150. Yes. Plus 118. No. A little risky. Risky. Ooh. I mean, you could go for Christian Leroy Duncan money line minus 154. That's not the craziest. It'll up our odds there though. Oh, I was gonna say maybe you could do not go the distance, but it is straight split down the line. 106 and 120 for yes and no. That's crazy.
We have the Vittori fight versus Cannonier going the distance. That's minus 182.
That's pretty good too.
I mean, we could throw that in there, I suppose. I just don't feel confidently on this entire card.
Throw in your Bellator one then. Fuck it. I mean,
I was just gonna say on Bellator either co-main or main not to go the distance, whichever one was more favorable. So you have Sergio versus Pitbull not going the distance, or you have Vadim Nemkov versus Yoel. Well, Yoel has shown us snoozer fights.
Okay, so will the fight go the distance? Vadim Nemkov, Yoel Romero, yes. Minus 108, no. Minus 118. They have no idea what's going to happen. So let's go to the other ones. Sergio Pettis, Patricio. Will it go the distance? Yes, 184. No, plus 142.
Is plus bad for the parlay?
I mean, it just makes it blows up our odds, but it's never really. You can. I mean, I would. Fuck
if it doesn't help.
If you're
that's
confident,
a pretty good odd for this fight. Sergio Pettis and Patricio.
What about? Hold on.
Someone should
Hold
go
on.
out.
What about the Daniel James versus Saracom fight, which is about to happen in like 40 minutes?
I hate you for doing that. Just pick between the other two.
It doesn't matter. Whichever is best for the parlay.
Here, I guess I'll just look up the odd. Let's see what the odd is. Will it
whatever
go
you're
the
confident
distance?
with, bro, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's the
As long as
same.
you're
It's literally
confident.
plus 110, minus 140. It's not going to matter what you
So yeah,
fucking pick.
whatever had the best one from the co-main or
It was
main.
Pettis and Patricio.
So then do that one. Because I don't think either of those are going the distance. if anything, the main event would be more likely to go the distance. But
So we're picking the better odd on this parlay. 3 legs. We have Modestus Bukakis, -190. We have Armin Sarukian and Joaquim Silva not going the distance, -460. And we have Sergio Pettis, Patricio Pitbull not going the distance, +142. That makes our 3-leg parlay +349. It's pretty good for 3 legs. It's
not bad.
It's not terrible.
Nice.
If you bet $10, you're going to win $34.97. If you bet $5, you're going to win $17.48. That is our parlay for today on Sport Champs. Do not forget to get your tickets to Webby and Friends. Right here, holding it up again for you guys. We got Chris Webby, Doobie, Dizzy Wright, Caskey, Echo, Stevie Stone, and yours truly, Rick G, all on one freaking lineup. Get your tickets ASAP, guys. Get your tickets ASAP. It's going to be a wild show. 1,000+ people. We're gonna be like the Denver Nuggets parade, dude.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna be like 1/100th of that.
Yeah.
I think so. There were
Maybe.
so many people.
Yeah.
1/1000.
Josh texted me earlier. He said that there was 2 million people at the Broncos parade.
Oh wow.
Football's bigger.
2
Yeah.
million.
Yeah, Colorado's definitely
Holy
more of a
crap.
football.
It is. It's a football state. 2 million. Damn, that's fire. I would go to that. I'd go to that. 2 million. We
You
would
know-
have not got parking at all.
No. And you know those people are getting fucked up.
Fucked up, dude. Ooh, that's another thing. Football fans party harder
Yeah,
than
for
basketball
sure.
fans.
For sure.
Damn. Well, it's too late to change my pick now. All right. That has been Sport Champs. Thank you guys for watching. We're getting out of here. Do not forget to get your tickets, and do not forget to watch the new music video dropping on July 7th. Peace.
What's up, guys? We just hit 1,500 subs. We're trying to make it 2,000.